Me over here about to hum. The music's really nice. I've just been listening to it for like at least 5. Okay, the stream starts now. That's so embarrassing. I just talked for like, I don't know, at least 2 minutes, a minute and a half, and it was. Don't worry about it. Okay, music's good. That's what I said. Out of my element, clearly. At least it happened at the beginning of the stream rather than later. But that's gonna suck to watch back. Maybe I could just cut that out and put that in the thought. But thank you, Gray, for subscribing at the beginning of the stream. I would have responded via chat, but I couldn't because I wasn't logged in to Twitch for whatever reason. It's a long story, whatever. That just goes to show that's what happens when you don't stream regularly and drop it every, a couple weeks or couple months and then come back like, hey guys, and expect everything to be the exact same. Um, I'm worried about the amount of reading I'm gonna have to have this week due to my voice just being like, having to read. That's my own fault. But the purpose behind the streams really is just to have to catch up on my backlog because I had a New Year's resolution this year to catch up on my backlog. I have a pretty big backlog. I don't know if it's like the biggest one. I'm pretty selective because I think unfortunately I think I'm a bit picky. I try not to be clearly, but like I think I just know what I like, so it's very like obvious to me almost immediately if it's something that I'm just not really gonna jive with. But my backlog's like getting up into the 80s, so it's getting up there, and I wanted to start like uh at least cutting down on the smaller ones. Now, Under the Stars is the smallest game that I have on my. It might be honestly one of the bigger ones this week. But it has its own specific slot this week, whereas everything else can probably be played in one sitting or in one stream, which was kind of the goal. Um, and then hopefully, if I have time next week, I'd like to do it again. But it really just depends on how much progress I'm able to make with both streaming and with my own personal stuff. So there's that. Um, I'll probably talk more about that later. In terms of like what we're doing with the stream or whatever. So let's not delay. Let's just get everything kind of set up. I think my music is good. I don't think it's too loud on y'all's end. If it's quiet, make sure to let me know. Because I'd hate for it to. And just a reminder, I'm out of my element. And hi, Len. Glad you could make it. Um, Honestly, everything seems good to me. I feel like I shouldn't adjust it until you know I'm in it, in the thick of it. Okay. Sip of water. It's funny because this one's been on my backlog for like one of the longest. I feel like this week is just full of games that like I've legit had with me forever. Like games that I've been wanting to play, dying to play forever, and then for whatever reason, they just kept getting pushed back and back and back, and I felt so bad about it. So, you know, new year, new me. In this world, everyone is born under a star. It grants us our greatest strengths, but also our weaknesses. For me, however, it was tied to a terrible fate. Born under a bad star, because it grants resilience, intelligence, but most of all, loneliness. Damn, got the short end of the stick on that one. The ones who are born under the star of solitude are bound to be alone forever. The Star of Solitude. Already better than Disney's Wish. Just want to put that out there. Like immediately way better. Not that that's a hard, like a high bar to cross, but like, you know, we're only like 6 sentences in maybe. Since my youth, I knew I was born under it. I knew what it meant. But as the only princess of the kingdom of Lunest, I had to continue our lineage. I had to marry and have children. And I wanted to. I always loved imagining the screams of kids running through the halls, cheerful and healthy. But as suitors came and went, that dream became more and more distant. They were all short kings, and I don't fuck with that. I'm just joking, I'm joking. They would look at me, bored, cold, annoyed, reciting words of flattery, trying to fish me into their traps. And as much as I wanted to pretend I didn't care, as much as I told myself that royal marriage was supposed to be like this, it hurt. It hurt so much. I couldn't look into their eyes and tell them I loved them. My heart was unable to lie like this. Yo, relatable as hell. I can't lie to save my fucking life. When the suitors left, I would ask myself, is this the right choice? Am I being too selfish? And as the years went by, I realized it was the star's destiny. No one would ever love me. Except me. No one possibly could. I was bound to be alone. Well, we're starting off on a high note. Dulari, hi! It's like meeting an icon, you know? You like, I feel like once you see a character advertised so much, like on social media, and like you see people talk about them, and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just happy to be here. I like see Dulari all the time, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, but you're cute, and I like to meet you, and so that's kind of what it feels like. Sigh. I heard a knock on my door. Princess? Yes. The guests are here. The horse is here. I don't want to see anyone. I do. I heard the servant mutter something to themselves while leaving. My 20th birthday would be in 2 days. I knew my parents invited so many people to see me. They even organized a 3-day party dog. Oh, God, it sounds awful. But I was so depressed, I could hardly get out of bed. I looked back to the book I was supposed to be reading. Under the Stars. Hey! Roll credits. In that book, I could live the romantic life I had never had. Oh, okay, she loves dating sims. I read it so many times that it started to make my mind create a perfect scenario. If I could live a love story, I would want it to be a... Oh, I do like an angsty story, I won't lie. But I like a fun one too. Why can't I have both? We're already kind of... I feel bad for Dulari, so we need a fun story. We need a pick-me-up, okay? We're living in a melancholic story right now. All these years stuck in the maddening dilemma made me want to experience something fun. Sorry if some of the text is cut off, by the way, that I have my stream set up, but... Oh, also my chat needs to be displayed. Apologies for that. There we go. Hopefully I can make it a little smaller so it's not cutting off anybody's... I'm gonna have to adjust it per stream, because it's, like, very specific. That should be good. If it's too small or too in the way, just let me know. I'll adjust it. Okay. I wouldn't ask for much, just a love that could fill my heart with warmth. Yes, if I had to choose, that would be it. I better get ready. I don't feel like it, but I think going out is better than mourning about the failure that is my life. I mean, I guess. Maybe something good can come out of it, maybe. Yeah, I hope. Hint, click on the scenery to interact with it, just for fun. Or maybe for something else. For something else. Okay, I mean, I'll look around. Candle. It's a candle. It usually helps me read late at night, sorry. I don't read that much, alright? Me neither, I would like to read more. It's a mirror. Sometimes I look at my reflection and think, is there someone who looks just like me out there? Yeah, probably at least 6 people, or 7, or whatever they said. I wonder. This is my bed. It's pretty big, but it's because I'm pretty tall. Aw, she's just tall. They're not short kings. She's just a tall queen. I love a taller character. There are not a lot of tall MCs in dating sims, I realize. Or just like in romance fiction to begin with. Let's change that. I think the only one taller than me in the kingdom is my father. It's a tapestry of the color of my kingdom. The colors are green and yellow, but I honestly don't know the meaning. Maybe green has something to do with the forest, and yellow... I don't know. Despair? No! Stars! Despair? Poor girl. Sometimes I look up to the night sky and pray to the stars. For happiness, for health, for love. But most of all, for peace. Yeah, that's probably a better use of time than anything else. There's a bunch of clothes here, mostly dresses. I'm always wearing this green one though, because green is my favorite color. Good color. I think I clicked on everything? Not me. Oh, I'm remembering to save? Okay. More tall queens, pray. We'll manifest it, don't worry. Clicking here will progress the story. Are you sure? Yeah, if I missed something, then I missed it. Hi, Gray! We're very early in, you didn't miss very much, and thank you for subbing earlier. I looked out into the corridors of the castle while walking. From afar, I could hear the music and the chatter from the ballroom. The nobles were here to celebrate my birth, but to be honest, my life didn't feel like it was worth cherishing. I looked to the moon. It was shining in the sky, calm and silent. They said there was going to be a supermoon on my birthday and that it was a special sight because the spirits of the world would be awakened by its beauty. I just know Gray's going to resonate with this so much as well. Like, not only do we have a game where there's like a depressed royal person. Why did I say it like that? A depressed prince. But we also love, you know, the vibes. The vibes are all there. A tall queen, you know, a gorgeous tall queen. Good spirits like the stars, and also bad spirits from Mother Night. It gave me chills just thinking about it. The danger felt especially strong because of the absence of... Ah, Princess! There you are! I don't have a voice because I don't know who this is. And hello, Carrot! That sound of metal was unmistakable. Metal? Oh, that makes sense. Happy night, boy. Oh, the music. The knight stopped right in front of me, his armor reflecting the moonlight. He was smiling as usual, his locks of hair bouncing on his head. It was Ezekiel, my personal bodyguard, who had been away for a whole month. Oh, Ease, I thought you wouldn't come. But of course I would, it's your birthday. Oh. Besides, that training was too easy. I learned everything super fast. Okay, shonen protagonist. That's why they sent you back early? Yeah. Easy. It's easy for him. Is it easy or is it at ease? Like, short for... I kind of just want to call him easy, because everything's easy for him. That's cute if that was intentional. Yeah, also, I ended up breaking some practice dummies, and the guy got mad at me. I couldn't hide a smile. That was so much like easy to break things by accident. It was because of his star, the Star of Strength. Oh, that's so cool. I'm already loving this. Had a tremendous force, always surprising us. Bro is that the lady from Encanto, sort of. You know, this is giving... You should be the new Disney writer, because this is giving Encanto and Wish, but better. I like Encanto, not to shit on it. LMAO, it wasn't, now it is. Okay, easy, let's go! Even though he was the softest soul on earth. What did I miss? I continued to walk in the direction of the ballroom as he followed me. Nothing much, to be honest. There were so many people outside, this is gonna be huge. Is it even worth it? Huh? Heck, I said it out loud. I mean, I think my father must have invited the younger princes from other countries. Another pack, huh? There's just so many princes out there. Prince Ali! How many Disney references can I make? We're up to 3. And then I wanted to say a Tangled one earlier, but I didn't say, so we're already... That was another reason I felt like Gray would vibe with it, because it's given Tangled slightly. He sounded a bit bummed, which is a compliment because I love Tangled. I guess 20 by the end. Yeah, for real. He sounded a bit bummed, but I ignore it. You know, I had no idea while I was training. What is it? What if instead of just introducing you to them, the king threw a big tournament to see who gets your hand? It would be so cool, right? I could be the last challenger. He's like, just a thought, just putting it out there. The competition I could win easily handed, maybe this should be the one that determines who you marry. Just putting that out there, just sliding that in. Big brain on this one. You. Yes. If they can win against me, there would be nothing they couldn't protect you from. That's... Oh, okay. That's C2. That's a rather bold affirmation. What do you mean? You make it sound like you're invincible. Well, I need to be in order to protect everyone, right? You... Also, it would be just like in your books. All those masculine guys fighting for a girl's love like true warriors. not him reading her books too. Cute! And then their swords would go like, shing, and then when their friends get harmed, they would go like, no, Adrian! Is that a Rocky reference? Clink, clink, clink. Oh, goodness. Okay. We continued to walk to the ballroom, and slowly Ezekiel concluded his tale of mightiness. When we reached the door, I took a deep breath. Okay, let's do this. The ballroom was completely filled with nobles from all over the world. Some of them I only heard of, some others I visited on trips with my family. I had never seen this room so packed. The human warmth enveloped me. All those faces brightened up seeing me. Ah, princess, you've grown so much. You've bloomed into a beautiful flower. A man after my own heart. In no time at all, I was surrounded by a flock of elderly nobles complimenting me and asking trivial questions. I answered them with the grace of a butterfly, smiling and leading the conversation as best as I could. I could see my mom watching me from afar, a bit worried about me. After a while, the king finally left his throne to greet me. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta mute my mic. Okay, apologies. He smiled, opening his arms. My beloved Dulari. I went to meet him, giving a shallow bow. Father, it is a joy for us that you've grown into such a beautiful woman. These days are for celebrating not only your birthday, but also your future. One day you'll be the one ruling these lands as the light of our kingdom. Until then, I want you to settle down as soon as possible to bring us tranquility before we leave you. No pressure. Yes, father. After that speech, it was my mom's turn to speak. My dear Dulari, you know I wish for nothing but your smile. For me, your happiness is the balsam of my days. So please, enjoy your days of youth. Enjoy this party as a welcome to this new cycle, as you've seen 20 springtimes. I hope that luck may smile upon your fortune, my daughter. Thank you, mother. Balsam, such a great word. All the nobles clapping, cheering. I felt numb. I didn't deserve to be celebrating. What were we celebrating? A failure like me? Damn. After the speech, the food was served. Relatable, though, unfortunately. The nobles gathered around the tables, chatting happily and laughing. While everyone was eating, I spotted a lonely figure in the corner of the room, drinking alone. This motherfucker. I mean that in the kindest way imaginable. I just love immediately just know what I'm getting into, and I'm here for it. I almost couldn't recognize him. Prince Leon Dimitri, Skygazer. Damn, okay. From the kingdom of Constellax. The only prince that wanted to be my friend rather than my suitor. Leon was different from when I last saw him. Of course, it's been years since I last saw his face, but something other than his appearance had changed. His smile. It was gone. I knew about the passing of his mother. Damn, okay. But still, seeing its effects made my heart clench in my chest, especially when I knew which star he was born under. The star of sensibility. He was amazing at reading people, but it was always difficult to get anything from him, even though his soul was more delicate than any other. I approached the prince cautiously. Leon? He eyed me, a bit surprised, as if he wasn't expecting me to greet him. Dulari? It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. How are things? So-so. How about you? Oh, God. Immediately, I'm already, on edge. Back up, bro. I know you're just gonna be obnoxious. Wow, they're so cute. Suddenly, King Saruva, I think it's Saruva, Leon's father, interrupted us. Your dad? This is your dad? I was not expecting that. Oh, hello, Princess Dulari. How are you? I'm well, thank you. I see. You still remember my boy? I'm glad you two are such good friends even after all this time. Yes. King Saruva was always a lively man, smiling and laughing and making jokes, but for someone who just lost his lover, he was too happy, too calm. Okay, he murdered her. It was quite unnerving, especially when his child was so sad about it. You look so moody, Leon. Put on a smile for our pretty birthday girl. Dulari, the cutest ever, actually. This way you'll never win her heart. Ha. The atmosphere started to feel weird. I think I'm gonna grab something to eat. Oh, feel free, my dear, but don't eat too much. We still have 2 days before your big part. I'll eat as much as I want, thank you. Not Saruva. I don't know if it's Saruva, Sarava. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I'll keep that in mind. Excuse me, King Saruva, Leon. My babies, not him. They bowed, and I quickly left, wandering to the tables. After I grabbed a plate and sat with the nobles, my father called for the jester. For a while, everything went silent. No one knew where they were, until suddenly they jumped out from beneath one of the tables, rolling until they faced the king's legs. Ouch! Also, this motherfucker. Ah! King, my king. Oh, but such marvelous clothes you wear. Is there any special occasion? My father laughed along with the other nobles. Oh, so you didn't hear? Of what? Is there something happening in the castle? They looked over to the guests, dumbfounded. Gah! And who are these people? My king, I think we're under attack. Hide yourself. The jester hid behind the king, pretending to be scared. There's no need to be afraid. They're our guests. Our guests? For the princess's birthday party. Princess? Everyone pointed at me to clarify who my father was talking about. Ah, so you are the princess, all right. The jester approached me while the nobles enjoyed themselves and with the clown's foolery. Apologies. Would you mind getting up from your seat, dear princess? I got up, and just then the jester looked mesmerized, tumbling down. Whoa, so tall! Are you sure there aren't two princesses instead of one? All the more woman to love. Are you sure that there isn't just half of you? Got his ass! Oh my gosh! She did it like so casually too. I didn't even like register. Okay. The nobles laughed. Oh, you wound me, princess. I think I'm going to cry. They faked a very exaggerated crying face to the delight of the guest. That's all you nobles know how to do. Make the masses cry for your enjoyment. So true, so base. I hate you all, I really do. I wish I could kill you all. Even if their voice was playful and the guests were laughing, there was a hint of sincerity in their words. Leon in the corner being like, I think he was being really serious, actually. Maybe it was just me, but there was a dark tone to their voice, a veiled hate, a foggy truth. I couldn't put my finger on why that impression came to me now, of all times. I was just probably anxious from everything and starting to imagine things. Probably. Not ominous at all. Not ominous whatsoever. It was almost midnight when my father guided everyone to the guest rooms of the castle, where they would be staying these days. The ballroom suddenly was quiet. The only things remaining were the leftovers waiting to be cleaned by the servants. I helped them to pack up the plates and the cups, and after that I felt exhaustion take over me. Still, I didn't want to go to bed just yet. I wanted to relax a little bit. I could watch the moon one more time or just sit by the fire. What should I do? Let's go watch the moon. I don't know why. I'm drawn to the moon. I don't want to be in here. I approached the balcony of the ballroom, longing for the cold breeze of the night. Hey, what up, moon? To my surprise, Leon was there too. Oh, okay, so if we would have stayed by the fire, then Easy would have just popped up like, wow, so beautiful. It is. To my surprise, Leon was there too, fixated on the sky. The stars were shining cheerfully like the eyes of a curious kid. For a moment, I thought he didn't notice me until he spoke. The moon is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, we were just saying that. I looked up. The round figure was soothing to the eyes, like the sight of a beautiful woman, a mother baby. It is. Sometimes I feel like we have some kind of connection, like it calls for me. Because it's like a mother and you miss yours because she's dead. He went silent for a moment, as if looking for words. I waited for him to continue. It reminds me of her. Yeah, I put two and two together. You remember her, don't you? Of course I do. She had pale skin just like the moon, and her smile was as bright as this light. But why did she have to be so fragile? Leon looked down, fear casting shadows in his eyes. Life is so fragile, Dulari, so fragile it makes me tremble. His hands were shaking, like he was reliving all those memories of loss again. And there was such a sadness in his voice, such loneliness, I could picture a little cub hiding itself from a scary forest, curling into a shaking ball. I still cry when I remember. The wind whispered between us, its cold embrace caressing my arms. Leon's pain was just before my eyes, but I couldn't do anything. I had never lost any parents. The suffering was foreign to me, as much as I wanted it to not be. I could only look at him, trying to figure out what I could possibly say to make him feel better. Anything would do. A sudden desire to touch him crossed my mind, but I was embarrassed and gave up on it. I lifted one of my hands, trying to overcome my shyness. But then he sighed, brushing his face until into his sleep. I apologize for not answering your letters. It's hard to write when I gave him a reassuring smile, lowering my hand and hiding it behind my back. It's okay. You're here now. I can talk to you. He looked away at the horizon. My voice, it's already giving out. We're not even that far into the stream. Oh no, this does not bode well for this week. Gonna be drinking a lot of water. I guess you can. I guess you can. The weird silence from before started to creep up again. We should go to sleep. We should. He looked at me one last time. Good night, Dulari. Good night, Leon. Poor guy. Poor sweet baby child. Make tea with honey? Yeah. If I had any on hand, I would definitely get on that. But, maybe it should be an investment. The cold water would be hurting your throat. You should let it warm up to room temp. This is warm water. It's not cold water, thankfully, because I'm one of those weirdos that drinks it room temperature for no reason. I don't think that's like warm enough, but maybe on break I'll heat some up real fast. I went straight to bed, exhausted from the party. I thought that this was just going to be a normal birthday, maybe a little sadder than usual, but I was wrong. Oh, I was so wrong. I prefer it room temp usually. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. It's just like maybe because I can drink it faster. That's always kind of been my reasoning. Oh, but you are very, very indecisive, princess. Would you prefer to cry crystal tears or to rejoice in simple foolishness? You just can't decide for yourself, can you? Very well. Let fate decide for you. And by fate, he means me. I don't know. I have no idea what they mean. These backgrounds are so cozy. Spooky gesture. Cute, though. Oh my gosh, we're already on... I did not realize that one little choice was going to branch so heavily. Hey, we're in it now. No turning back. I am fond of little gestures. Me too. Diamond. Cat appearance. Hey, they're gonna want to ask and see you. Look. Say hi. Meow. Say hi, baby. She's purring. She looks angry, but she's happy. I promise. I promise. Okay, she's knocking the mic over. What are you doing? You could be around, but you're like stealing the show. She always steals the show. She's so obnoxious. Ma'am. Are you good there? No? Okay, she's good. She's happy. Whatever. Hi Kimmy. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, let's cute. Everyone get Leon first. This is insane. I don't know. We love the moon. That just goes to show if you give somebody a fireplace or a moon, they're just always gonna go for the moon. Sweet girl, she wants to be a TV star. She's a star. um, where am I? In a beautiful garden, the gazebo. I remember this place. Water so clear it would reflect the moon. Okay, my mic settings are okay. It would reflect the moon and the stars like a perfect mirror. The trees softly murmuring, whispering to not make the birds. The air with a soft smell that enveloped my mind in a refreshing breeze. This is Constellax's kingdom. I remember that when I visited with my parents, Leon once took me to this place. We both love stargazing, so we spent the whole night doing that in this lonely spot. I still cherish that memory so much. I'm like so cozied up right now. Like, is it slightly depressing? Yeah, but it's like in a way that's like unveiling you, like piece by piece. From the shadows of the trees, a strange darkness started to emerge. Like a snake, it crawled through the grass, engulfing everything under its power. All life was disappearing, dying right in front of me. Soon the moon and I were the only things remaining. The darkness started to crawl over my feet, making me panic, and then a voice echoed through the emptiness. Oh, Princess Delari! It sounded so distant, but at the same time very, very close. The world is unfair, isn't it? And for a second, I felt a warm breath on my... Ooh. None of that. Huh? Yeah, I'm glad that's over. I woke up, but it was still pitch dark. A nightmare. It made sense, considering all the bad feelings I was having, but I could hear faint noises coming from somewhere, like furniture being moved from one place to another. I couldn't say where exactly, but There's someone else awake? Why would they be moving furniture anyway? They just want a new change of scenery. I hope it's just father being weird, as he is. Or the servants preparing for tomorrow. I was too tired to think, to be fair. I didn't want to think. I was tired, so tired of everything. I just put my head on my pillow and prayed for the stars, prayed to the stars. Please just let me sleep. Please. And as if they heard, I closed my eyes and forgot everything for a while. Those stars work quickly. Hell yeah. Finally, make themselves useful. The next day, Father decided that it was a good idea to have a picnic. Actually, it was more like a banquet outdoors with chairs and tables and such. We used the old stone courtyard to house the nobles while they chatted between themselves. Luckily for us, the wind was calm and the sun was in a good mood, so we were all able to enjoy the food with very much satisfaction. But in my mind, the image of the gazebo and the kingdom of Constellex was as clear as day, and as if the darkness of the dream could reach me, my mind turned gloomy. What was that exactly? Oh god, the darkness returns. Give me some of those stars. Oh, for real. Princess, the lively voice of King Saruva, snapped me out of my thoughts. Are you daydreaming? I'm sorry, I was just thinking. There's no need to think hard when you're choosing a partner. Just follow your heart. It's not that simple. Oh, believe me, it is. Sometimes what you are looking for is right in front of you. As he said this, Leon passed by us, wandering like a lost ghost. That's a really good description of him. Come here, boy. Leon approached, his depressed features still there. Aren't you going to keep your good old friend company, be a gentleman, and entertain the princess for a little while? Why don't you do that yourself? Don't be so stubborn, all right? I'm doing this for your own good. Leon shrugged, but obeyed his father anyway, sitting next to me. That's my boy. No pressure, once again. King Saruva got up and departed to start a conversation with my mother, leaving us in silence. Did something happen? You look scared. Am I too obvious, or is it just a star doing its thing? I think it's the star. That would be a huge jump. I mean, but hey, maybe he's just that observant. Is it my father? No. I heard weird noises last night. It was the servants. How do you know? They always make too much noise back home, especially at night. He said it so fast that I doubted he even thought about it before responding. It may be normal back at your house, but not here. And we don't even have that many servants. It's a special occasion. They were probably solving last-minute issues. He wasn't even looking at me. He held a serious gaze, staring at the horizon as if unbothered. I fell silent, frustrated by his lack of attention. It was clear as day that he didn't feel like debating or lending an ear to my worries. He was probably being forced to participate in all of the celebration, just like me. I never liked the idea of trying to force someone to hear what I have to say anyway. Maybe I was supposed to keep things to myself after all, deal with them alone, as per usual. Okay. Good talk, Leon. The rest of the morning went slowly, time flowing like a very lazy river. There were music and jokes from the jester, of course, but everything felt stagnant and tasteless. And all these strangers in my house weren't helping my mood either. That's so real. Especially when you come from like a Hispanic family like I do, I swear, like, you'll just wake up and then there's just like 30 people in your house for no reason. There's a baby on your bed and you're just like, whose baby is this? And why are they in my room? Because it's the only quiet room in the house. It's just like, it's miserable. And I'm not even an introvert. So I can't even imagine how much worse it would be for my introverted family members. Having to pretend that everything was all right was starting to wear me out. I'm sure other cultures share that similar thing. 30 people. Yeah. It's like all your cousins and your cousins' cousins and people you've never met who have only met you when you were a baby. I love not having a large extended family. Yeah, I like that part now too, because that was when I was growing up. I don't really have that issue now. I can't imagine waking up to a new sudden baby. Yeah, that's just, it's just how it goes. And while I tried to keep everything inside of me, the night came without warning. Surprise! You actually birthed it in the middle of the night. The second ball of my birthday was very similar to the first one. I do not want a surprise baby. I want all my babies to be on purpose. Thank you. I mean, that's just real. This time, the jester delighted everyone with their acrobatics, juggling with colorful balls. People cheered and clapped and ate, smiling all together, and I pretended to be there, to be cheering, to be happy too. But Mother, she had this stiff smile on her face, her eyes fighting to not burst into crying. She was holding up pretty decently until a faint sigh escaped her lips, tired and sad. Every time I see her, she reminds me of my abuela. She looks just like my abuela, minus the blue eyes. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Mom? Suddenly, my mother jumped out of surprise. Oh gosh, a tarot reading. Yay! You could do this at better stopping point. Yeah, I might do it when we get to like the next scene break, but I'll keep it in mind. Don't let me forget. Yeah, yes, my daughter? I could feel her mind was elsewhere, her eyes drifting into a world of dream, longing for the end of the night. Are you okay? Yes, of course. There was such a pure sadness hidden in the color of her eyes, playing hide and seek with sincerity. A good line! Okay. I felt guilty. I wish I could help her, whatever she was feeling. But maybe it was the fact that I existed that saddened her. Whoa. Okay. I looked down, pushing aside any further questions. Does that count as a scene break? I was kind of hoping for like it to change over, but I think it like is leading into like a new. So we'll just do it now before I forget, because I know I'm going to. Okay, let me shuffle real fast. And we do 1 card tarot reading. So if anybody's interested, okay, 1 fell, but I'm just gonna let that be fate. That one wasn't meant for you. And as always, my word is not gospel. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Also, what's really cute about my specific tarot, not only is it kind of in line with the themes of, this, but they have little stars on them. Yee! So, you know what? Let's do that one, since that one's the one I showed to the camera. So, you got I believe it is the 9 of Swords reversed. So, 1 second. Let me pull out my little handy dandy notebook. No major arcana, so there's not anything the universe really deeply needs to tell you, but just like a little hint, a little piece of advice, if you will. Wait, it's perfect for this game. In character, 9 of Swords reversed. Okay, work. It has to do with dissatisfaction, materialism, and overspending. Oh, you subbed. They're just like, don't do that. No, cards. Let her be a little irresponsible. She's just a girl, okay? Let her go on a shopping spree. A card of accomplishment, the 9 of Cups, when reversed, can signify disappointment at the fruits of your labor. It may be that your wishes were unrealistic, your expectations too high, of your time or effort not enough. The 9 of Cups reversed can appear in a reading when there's a feeling of dissatisfaction. This card in a reverse position warns of imbalance. Be careful that any feelings of unfulfillment are addressed in a healthy way. With the 9 of Cups reversed, it could be easy to lean on materialism to try to perk yourself up. Interesting. Okay. I think that one was pretty cut and dry. Not really much I need to add to that. But if there's anything that you feel like you need in order to balance your workload, I'm always here. So just reach out. The card said so. A healthy way. I'd like to find that. LMAO, I just bought a Sims 3-pack and I've been wanting to buy more mini games. They're telling you to relax. Just be happy with what you have. But again, take what resonates, leave the rest. I didn't say it, the card said. If it was up to me, I'd let you spend all your money on all the things you want. Buy the video games. I buy things to make me happy. Don't we all? There's nothing wrong with that. Crazy. Okay. The cards are judging you. They are, yeah. That's crazy. Okay, well, if anybody else wants a tarot reading, use your little shinies if you have any to spend at any point during the stream to get one. Also, all throughout the week if you just happen to be here. Anyway, when I noticed the first day of the celebration was over, everyone going back to their rooms, the servants hastily cleaning everything, already preparing for the next day. The room became empty again, just as I wanted my thoughts to be. Sigh. I was not tired. Somehow I felt relieved, finally free from all the commotion. From all that people. Alright, stream derailment over. Now that's part of the stream, okay? It's part of the community integrating, you know? OMG, I somehow just got 400 shinies. How did that just happen? I don't know. I don't know how the shinies work. They're technically channel points, and I still, that gives me nothing. So just enjoy your shinies. I felt energized, like something interesting was hidden in the late hours of the night. When no one was looking. Maybe just the silence itself is promising. swims in the shinies. And grabbing onto that hope, I pretended I went to my room, only to get away from everyone was asleep. I love a balcony, man. I think that's one of my favorite things about fairy tales specifically. It's like, give me a fucking balcony, okay? This is where all the good stuff happens. Like, it's just like, we cooked with that, huh? We as human beings. At one point, I will get to hit her with a no swearing. Oh, shit. See, I'm gonna lose. It's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be very tough for me, okay? Unlike last night, there were no noises anymore. Maybe Leon was right. It was just the servants. I opened the door to leave my room, feeling safe to go. To my surprise, my bodyguard, Easy, was sleeping next to the door, standing up. How did he do that? Yeah, give me that power. I needed to ask him that someday. It's part of his star. Don't ask about it. But not now. Okay. Is he sleeping? As I continued to walk, I reached the gardens. It had a gentle smell of flowers and grass, and as the wind blew through the trees and bushes, it made a nice, soothing sound. Can you smooch the jester? I believe it is a secret, like, route. Their arrow ace. Okay, so we're going to shake the jester's hand, or whatever they're comfortable with. Roll around on the ground, juggle some balls, you know? Pensive. Not pensive. But amongst all that scenery, two shadows gazed lovingly at each other. I hid myself as soon as I saw them, not wanting to disturb, not wanting to get involved. But the night was so silent, almost as if it wanted me to hear them. I don't know why. I just had this thought. I'm just going to say it. Like, it might not make any sense whatsoever, but I feel like the mom and Leon's dad have something going on. I don't know why. I have no idea where that came from. They had one discussion, and then the mom looked a little sad or whatever, but, like, there's got to be something going on there. I don't know why. Like, if it makes no sense, just toss it out. Okay? Just leave it. Just leave it. I'm just speculating. Guys. Sarama. Wait, who is that? Did I cook? Did the cards tell me? Swear this is my first time playing. I promise. Vedanshi. It's a very pretty name. That's my mom's name. It's weird hearing it. She put her head on his shoulder, sighing, and they stayed like that for a whole minute. Is everything okay? I never thought King Sarubo could say things with such softness in his voice. It was almost like my ears were brushed by feathers. Scandalous as hell! He caressed her back up and down slowly, as if consoling a child or a mourning wife. I'm like, are you about to be step-sibling? Oh no. Sorry, step bro. I don't want to sit on the balcony with you. Soon, I started to hear low sobs. I don't want to leave you. You don't need to. Saruva. For a moment, there was only the wind. He's acting weird. Doesn't he always? When I'm around you, he acts weird. Probably because you're into him. I have, like, what? He starts to ask about what we talked about. He's jealous. She slowly embraced him into a hug. He's starting to suspect. I mean, I was starting to suspect, and I had, like, fucking nothing to work off of, so I can only imagine if I was your husband. Okay? This is crazy. Paul Rudd is quaking. Are they talking about father? Yeah, it is. It's a very square chin that matches mine. Oh, Saruva. He's going to find out if we continue to go like this. There is such sadness in her voice. So is this the end? They stayed silent for what felt like hours. She detached herself from the hug painfully. Their arms were still holding each other until they slipped into just holding hands, and finally they were apart. I mean, I kind of ship them though. Like, I'm kind of sad for them. Like, I have no idea why. I just feel like they jive, you know? I'm sorry. Are you really going to leave me? His pained voice shot through the air, silently but firm. Saruva, we need to forget this. But you're the love of my life. There is nothing in this world I want more than to stay with you for as long as possible. Is that why he's trying to push Leon to marry us so they could, like, keep... That's crazy to do that. Like, okay, I know love makes you do crazy things, but that's a little too crazy for my liking. But, you know, I appreciate the effort. I will not comment. What a devious plan. I like to speculate out loud, so if I am asking questions, I don't actually expect anybody to answer them. I would actually prefer if you didn't. But, like, I did this all through Our Wonderland where I was like, what if this happened? And what if, you know? Like, I just think too much. He's insane. I love an insane man. I write too many of them. Nom nom. There's not a single day I spend without thinking about you. There's not a moment in my life I don't want to travel back here. Now that I am finally free, you tell me to forget you? Like that is even possible. Oh, that's right. His wife is fucking dead. Yeah, there's some crazy nonsense going on here. There's some scandalous shit theorizing during our Wonderland was peak. Please, don't make this harder than it already is. I love you, Vedanchi. Vedanchi, I can't love anyone else. Please. Please, Saruva. She turned around, leaving in a hurry, before her heart made her change her mind. Vedanchi. Saruva stood there, very still. The night breeze wandered through the garden, filling the silence that stayed. Our next conversation with Leon's gonna be crazy, because it's gonna be like, what are you thinking about? And I'd be like, I may or may not have seen both of our parents, like, confessing their love to each other in the garden, but for a long moment, it looked like that was going to be it. The loss of such a tender love, it was like loneliness, but even worse. Hey, buddy, our parents are in love, by the way. I felt my heart sink, a depressing numbness taking over my soul. I stood up and prepared to leave, tucking that sad moment into my memories, but then I heard, you're going to regret that. Oh gosh, here he is, yandere mode. Let's go, let's go, let's go. He wasn't talking to me. He stood still in place. He was a moment ago, looking at the direction my mother went, but something was completely different. He's going to kill her like he did his wife. I think it's still kind of cute. We might want to retract that real fast, actually. The soft-spoken voice of King Saruva was gone. It was threatening, giving me chills, and I knew it wasn't from the night breeze. There was something broken in him, deeply in his heart, hatred that had waited a long time to free itself. It's a good line. He stormed out, leaving me alone with my thoughts. There was this unnerving feeling crawling under my skin left by his presence. I was scared. For the second time in 2 days, I was deeply scared. That darkness from my nightmare felt closer and closer, and there was nothing I could do about it. It's giving Game of Thrones. I can't help it. No, it is. It is. It really is. The next day, it's like Game of Thrones meets Disney. Like, that's really fun. You know, we love that. You love to see it. If I smack my mic one more time, I'm gonna smack myself. This is some shit some Targaryen king would pull. No. The next day, I woke up with no dreams, only the memory from last night lingering in my head. Still, lying down on my bed, I wondered how long they had been hiding it. How did it start? When did they notice they were in love? I myself had to confess that I never noticed anything. If it wasn't for last night, I would never know. And that idea made me a bit sad, thinking about how many things happen without us noticing. Precious things like sweet whispers at the end of the night. Mother. She must feel very lonely now, but I couldn't console her. How could I? I've been alone my whole life. I was used to it, like a second nature. Maybe my first and definitive one, actually. And trying to help her would mean that I would have to tell her I saw what happened, and I wasn't really prepared to see her reaction. Yeah, that'd be a really difficult conversation to have. Also, there was still that thing with King Saruva, that last whisper. You're going to regret that. What did he mean by that? If he really meant something other than his own pain. I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah. But, well, there wasn't much use worrying about it right now. It's not like I could do something about it. Wait, I did not read that fully. Sorry. About it yet. Okay. I hope breakfast is a bit calmer today, at least. Probably not. Probably not. Let's not even... It's gonna get crazier before it gets chiller. But I'm excited. I'm loving it. Keep it juicy. It means murder. I went outside, hoping to go to the bathroom to pour some cold water on my face to help me wake up properly. Oh, this motherfucker. Hello. But as I turned a corner, I spot the jester sitting on the parapet, smiling like the fool they were. Damn, got him. Happy birthday, princess. Today looks like such a fine day, doesn't it? Yeah, good morning, jester. Still yawning. Both you're such a night owl, princess. Bah, you're such a night owl, princess. Are you a morning person? I'm an all-times person. How else am I going to be prepared to entertain the royalty? Sometimes people demand my services very late in the night. That's giving they wake him up and wake them up and it makes them very upset, understandably. Because that's a form of torture or like abuse actually, is like sleep deprivation, I think. Creature. Or why are we saying creature and spelling it wrong unless creature? Is that a different word? I'm lost. Late in the night, how so? You see, my dear beloved princess, unlike you, who has never broken your heart, there are people who have to share their affections with more than one person against their wishes. Are they talking about... No, it can't be. I felt like the jester noticed my reaction because their smile grew a little bit. Oh, but you already know that, don't you? About star-crossed lovers. I gulped. Did they spot me hearing the conversation? But I did not see them. You shouldn't read books so much, dear princess. Those pretty stories will delude your innocent heart. The jester suddenly turned upside down, walking with their hands on the parapet. After all, nobles don't marry for love, do they? Royalty are like cats. They have big whiskers and love to play with shiny things. They got up again, looking at me. Don't look so sad, oh beloved princess. Cats are beautiful creatures. Take my advice. Life is not a fairy tale to be written in books. Why should I take advice from a fool? Damn. Just like, got them. Your rebuttal? Who is it to distinguish a fool from a wise man? Sometimes idiots can see foolishness in everything but themselves. I wish you a nice day, princess. See you around. I love this little thing. There's more to them that meets the eye. I wish I knew what exactly. The way they spoke, they must know about something. Or maybe they're just fooling around. Who is it to distinguish a fool from a wise man? Just who? It's a good question. Okay, Dulari Savage. I love them. Later that morning, the king gathered everyone for lunch. The nobles started drinking to pass the time, and soon everyone was either a bit or very much drunk. I ended up sitting at a table in the corner with a few people who weren't completely wasted, and by that, I mean me, my mother, and a few nobles, and Leon. He was especially quiet, considering how his father was singing his heart out in the center of the room. We ate very silently compared to our noisy companions who were laughing extremely loud and spitting in a very clumsy way. Me. When we were done, my mother excused herself and the other nobles followed her, leaving me alone with Leon. Strategic. He looked at his father, a hint of shame dancing in his eyes, but he was incapable of doing anything other than glare. What is his problem? Seeing him like this only made me worry about telling him about what happened last night. Even so, I felt like I had to. It was my mother's life that was in danger. Leon's so pretty for real. It's funny because I always have an affinity towards characters named Leon because my very first crush is like Leon from Resident Evil 4. And then like I wrote a character recently, Leon in the In Between by Cats on a Lily Pad. And so like just if your name's Leon, you're probably my type of guy, okay? He also deserved to know. I could never hide something that big from Leon after all. Leon. He did not look at me right away, too bothered by the sight of his father. Looking away, I gathered all my courage to speak. I need to talk to you. He slowly turned to me. Okay. Now you're gonna freak when you hear this. Or maybe you're also expecting it. I don't know. My pretty boy kissing his forehead. Mwah! Right in that little space between the hairs. Wait. Right here. Mwah! We did not exchange any words on the way. Our walk was dead silent, but my head was filled with worry and doubt. I wasn't sure what to say or if he was even going to believe me. Or worse, what if he hated me for telling him? He was already so shocked by the loss of his mother, and here I was about to tell him that maybe his father wasn't the loving man he always knew. He's probably aware. Also, it's better to know than to not know, okay, guys? Whenever you're put in a situation where, like, you don't want to tell somebody the truth, and I've been there, it's just better just to tell that person. Like, it will probably suck, but ultimately, long-term, gonna be better, you know? Truth sets you free. This is gonna sound crazy, but he was already so oh, I already read that. Okay. Leon was my first friend, the first one to see me as an equal, as a person, and I didn't want to lose that. Should I hide the truth for his sake? He never seemed very close to King Saruva, but this was a whole other level. When we reached the gardens, we sat on a very rustic bench. There was a silence for a while more while I tried to find the right words. Leon, he just stared at me, waiting for me to continue. Is your father, I was fidgeting with my fingers. Do you think your father loves someone? Excuse me? I felt embarrassed, my whole face getting red. The question must have sounded so weird. It's just oh, her cute little face. He looked into my eyes. He was using his star's blessing to try to guess what I was thinking. Dilari? Well, I looked down, fearing his reaction. I saw your father last night. He was talking to someone he loves. For a while, Leon stared at me blankly, as if I was invisible or his eyes were blind, but then he spoke again, weirdly calm. You're saying that he has a lover? Well, that... I know. That took me by surprise, making me lift my head. You do? My father never really loved Mother. I never needed a star to notice that. I think anyone can see how happy he is, even though she was gone just some months ago. I don't think the fact he has a lover is surprising at all. The way he said those words, it felt so deeply saddening. I couldn't imagine how hurt he must have felt. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It kinda is. His lover is my mother, after all. That's still not your fault, Tulari. You didn't pick who your mom was. I couldn't help but feel responsible. The guilt was strangling me. What if I had just destroyed the last family tie you still had? Leon noticed my worries, probably because of how sad my eyes looked. I'm going to say it again. It's not your fault. Well, yes, but his lover was not the only thing I saw. They actually broke up last night. Really? It was her choice. But your father said that she was going to regret that. And he said it with such hate, it gave me goosebumps. Leon, I have a bad feeling about this. I think your father, he's going to do something. My voice trailed off, incapable of saying anything else. So that's why he... As you may know, I can see people's feelings in their eyes. My father woke up with a very strange gaze today. There was anger, grudge, hate. He's surrounded by a vengeful aura. I've only seen him like this one other time. And it means he's plotting something. Was it before your mother died? It means he's plotting something. So that means she is in danger. I don't want to say that she is, but there is a possibility. What if he tries to hurt her? Dulari, answer me one thing. Do you know the identity of my father's lover? I do. I see. I won't ask who it is because you seem to care about her. But yes, we need to stop Father before this gets out of control. We looked down. There was the silence that sat between us, the seriousness of the situation burdening our minds. All of this was incredibly overwhelming. While I wanted to lay down and sleep for a while, my mind couldn't help but stay hypervigilant. There were so many emotions wandering in my mind that I didn't know what to feel exactly. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder. Dulari. Leon was looking at me very seriously, with a hint of concern. Thank you for telling me. I swear on my name that I won't let anything happen to this woman, whoever she is. You have my word. I believe you. Leon. Oh, handsome sadman. I love when, boys got the sad eyes where they're like pointed downward. Like, look at you and the fat ass eyebrows. I love you. He had a shy smile on his face. I'm really glad you told me. It means you trust me enough to be completely honest. There are many people in these courts, but most of them will just flatter me or tell me to toughen up. You aren't like that. And I'm really happy that even after all these years, you consider me close enough to tell me bitter truths. His eyes sparkle with sincere happiness, making me blush. Oh! I was also happy to have him next to me, especially if I could make him smile like that. I'm glad to have you too. I don't think I could ever bear losing your friendship. Aww, I love the little cheeky plushies. Well done. We should get back. We should. I'll try to talk to my father to calm him down before the night comes. It shouldn't be that hard. Thanks. He looked at me for a while. Try to rest. You seem to need it. Is it your star saying that? No one needs a star to notice a tired person. True. It's in the eyes. Fair. And for a second, I saw a faint smile on Leon's face, like a small flame illuminating the world. Drink time. Sorry, gross drinking noises. After that, I went to my room. He was right. I was really tired. Nap time! I rested on my bed, gazing at the wall for a short while, until a short nap interrupted my vigilance. Nightmare time! Oh, I should save. I haven't saved in a second. I'll just save here. Yeah. Okay. I heard a faint sound in my room and opened my eyes. Hey, Square Chin, it's you. I'm telling you, we got the same shaped face. Like, if my face was in, like, this style, it'd just be it. Ah, dear, you were here. I was looking for you. What is it? Did something happen? Ah, nothing special. It's just one of those One of my rings went missing. Without it, I cannot make decrees, so I need to find it as soon as possible. Did you look in your room? I actually started by the throne room, and I still have some ground to search. How about this? I search the throne room while you look through my room. What do you think? Ooh, does that mean I get to click on all your stuff and then I'm going to stumble upon something I probably shouldn't see? Hell yeah! Aw, thank you. I'll continue the search right away. He left, leaving me alone again. This nap gave me a little bit of energy, indeed. I felt more motivated. For me, a nap is like a reset button. I'd be taking naps crazy. Like, if I'm just too tired, I did a lot of work that morning, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a two-hour nap, and then I'll be more productive again, you know? It's really good for me. I like that reset. And with that boost, I went to my father's room. I feel like I'm the most energized the second I wake up. And then, like, as time goes on, my, like, energy meter just goes down and down and down. And I think for most people that's the case, probably. But, like, a lot of people are night owls, and I'm not. The second the sun sets, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go back to sleep. I can't do this anymore. My parents' room is organized as usual. It still amazed me how father would keep losing things. Maybe because he was not the one who organized it. Anyhow, let's look for this ring. Okay. Okay, big bed. Under the rug? Okay, I can't. Okay, so it's only these two desks. Let's go with the boring one first. Some pencils, the diary, but no ring. Good on you for not reading the diary. Tissues, a piece of cloth, but no ring. Guess it's on the bed. Ah, this looks comfy. I started searching, and searching, and searching. But there's no ring here. While I was searching, a strange thing dropped on the floor. I grabbed it for a closer inspection, and then I realized... It's a juggling ball. The only person this could belong to is the jester, but why would they leave a juggling ball right here? They are not even allowed to enter the private rooms that you know of. Hell. I mean, this is weird. Yeah, it's really weird. I kept the ball just for sure. But even though the item emanated a jolly aura, which is bright colors, the only thing I could feel was a growing uneasiness. What star is the jester born under, huh? Because that could be unlocking a whole kinds of things. Can they enter dreams? Who fucking knows? I don't even know what the limitation of these star powers are. Was the jester here? What were they doing here? Were they the one who... I mean, they could teleport. I don't fucking know. No, I just can't judge people so fast. Not without proof. That would sound delirious this way. Still, there's something wrong with it. I continued to search the room, but no luck. The ring was not here. I sighed and looked out. The sun was already setting, and soon it would be my birthday. The supermoon would finally rise. Remembering that, I unconsciously touched the star on my tiara, the gift my father gave me when I was just a little girl, 10 years ago. He said this star would guide me when I felt the world was being torn apart, that it was supposed to be on my forehead because that's where we touch when we're worried. He was right, it really was. I'm scared. Anything could happen tonight. What if it was something bad? No, I couldn't keep being this afraid. I had my star after all. It would guide me through this darkness. And I also had Leon. He said he was going to do everything in his power to stop his father. Yes, I wasn't completely lost. There was a chance. But before I could elaborate any further, a servant appeared in the room. Princess Dulari, we're all looking for you. You need to get ready for the ball. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm coming. I hoped everything would turn out all right. An hour later, we all gathered in the courtyard to watch the moon rise. The nobles surrounded my lonely figure, creating a big circle around me. Some of them excited, some of them emotional, but I would see tense faces popping up here and there. Sorry, I heard singing in my ear, and I was like, what's that? After all, anything could happen under a full moon. That's when people start going crazy. My mother stood in front of me, preparing herself to speak. Oh, this day, under this very same sky, you were brought to the world by the stars. She had a sad and distant smile on her face, like she was reliving all those memories again. I remember like it was yesterday, your shrill cry echoing all around the castle. Like you knew the fate you were born upon, which star had blessed you. I mean, do we know for certain that we're even our dad's daughter? I'm just putting that out there. Like, I mean, it's possible. That's all I'm saying. Like, that could be our fucking dad. Probably not, because I feel like Leon wouldn't have a route if that was the case, unless he had a different dad, but, like, I think that would be just way too messy. So, I think our dad is probably our dad, but I'm just saying, it's also a possibility. And now I'm doing the Trump hands, and I'm not happy with that, okay? So I'll stop. Lol, too messy. Too Game of Thrones. Like you knew the fate you were born under, which star had blessed you. Oh my god, no! I gave you that name, Dulari, not by accident. It means, in the language of our ancestors, beloved child. Your star may give you this terrible loneliness, but it would never be because of hate. I will always love you, my dear child, until the end of my life. I'm trying to figure out what ours really means. Like, I mean, I understand, like, it's like a bad fate, but there's gotta be a positive spin on that, right, too? Where we're like destined to be like an independent person, I guess? Like, maybe? I don't know. I'm just speculating. I returned to the hug, almost didn't notice when tears started to fall from my eyes. Beloved child. That was the meaning of my name. Somehow the fact alone made me want to cry. My parents loved me so much. I was overwhelmed by their kindness every day. I really wish I wasn't born under that curse, so I could make their happiness complete. Now it is time for our king to speak. The nobles clapped, excited to hear the words from the king. They clapped once, twice, but the king didn't appear. Whoa, where is he? Is he preparing something? The courtyard suddenly got tense. No one knew where my father was, nor why he was missing such an important event. It's his daughter's birthday. Where is he? Dead. Under the bed, probably. I don't know. One of those juggling balls was actually made of stone. And it got juggled right into her head. Whoops! Accident! The nobles started whispering between themselves, and my mother started to worry. Servant, search for the king and tell him to come immediately. Yes, queen. Where's the jester? I'm right here! From a corner hidden behind the bush, the jester popped up, smiling as usual. Did you call me, my fairest queen? Oh, thank goodness. Could you please entertain the guests while we look for the king? But of course. They approached the center where I was still standing, their smile growing wider and wider like they were trying to hold a big laugh. My, don't look so worried, my wondrous aristocrats. I can guarantee that the king is closer than we think. He is, in fact, only preparing himself to come here and take his place. Take his place? But of course, his ultimate opportunity to show how much he appreciates you, my beloved princess. How many times he wished for this very moment, for these specific conditions. Conditions? Oh, but you do make a very pretty parrot, princess. Hey, okay? I just don't understand what the fuck you're saying, so speak clearly. Hey, yeah. Hey. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was the utmost sincerity. After that, the last joke, the nobles laughed and calmed down a bit, all attention dissipating. That left me with only one last worry. Jester. Oh, is this a dream? Is the princess really calling out to me? Oh. They made an exaggerated pose, as if in complete disbelief. Like, I ignored their antics and showed them the juggling ball. What the fuck is this? Why did I find this in my father's room? Is this yours? Not the eyes opening. Ah! Where did you find it, my dear princess? Their voice was suddenly darker, which made me shiver all the way up. In my parents' room? Curious, aren't you? Curious like an innocent kitten. They looked down, as if pondering something, and then looked back at me, still smiling. They made a signal for me to come close and whispered next to my face. Want to know a secret, princess? I can use dark magic. Okay. Dilari! Before I could react, a great darkness escaped from the jester's hand, flowing in all my directions, drowning everything under its power. Oh, God. Suddenly, I was very sleepy. I couldn't keep my eyes open. The last thing I heard was the jester's laugh echoing into the void. Dilari! I'm smelling roses? Dilari! Dilari! Okay, yeah, I'm here. Leon was the only thing I could see, holding desperately onto me. He had kneeled down and was trying to wake me up by shaking my shoulders. Leon! Oh, Dilari, thank heavens. As I tried to stand, he hugged me tight, maybe out of relief, maybe out of panic. Even so, his warmth was comforting and his embrace enjoyable. He had this soft smell of roses, probably from walking through the gardens of Constellax. His cheeks were just as soft, like rose petals. I started to feel a bit self-conscious thinking that. I tried to change the subject. Not as getting flustered right now. There's dark magic happening, okay? Cute boy, yes, but also, what happened? I looked around. The whole courtyard was silent. The moon watched everyone on the ground, apparently sleeping like I was before. Leon loosened his grip on me, looking down with shame. The jester cast a sleep spell on everyone. They disappeared into thin air, so I don't know where they went. Of all people, the jester did something like that. My eyes looked away, confused as I tried to process all the details. Cute boys, dark magic. What a combo. That's all we really need. I'm sorry, Dilari. I should have predicted. That jester, guilt glistened in his eyes, and unlike his voice, while his voice trailed off, I couldn't tell why. As usual, his emotions were as difficult to read as torn tarot cards, you say? With that said, I sighed, half of me sad and the other determined to make something work. How, I did not know, to be honest. I couldn't ignore those sad eyes of his. My heart felt stabbed every time I saw him like that. I wanted to help him, or at least make him worry less. I need to find them. Let's go, then. He looked at me with confusion. You want to come too? Yes, I want to help you. He stared at me for a long minute, completely silent. Even though I had known him for years, that time it felt particularly strange. His gaze was filled with a kind of amusement, like he had waited years to say those words, but then someone ended up saying them to him. His lips tried to hide a laugh, and suddenly he was the cutest thing in the world. He already was! I felt forced to look away, and at least until we're on Ezekiel's route, and then he'll be the cutest thing in the world to us. But for right now, as things are, yes, feeling weirdly shy. Leon also looked away, almost as if he was embarrassed too. And then he finally answered, As you wish. Very Princess Bride of you. The whole castle was very silent. Leon and I walked side by side, separated by silence. He still had that strange guilt in his eyes, while I was growing tense again from the sudden turn of events. Where was my father? Was the jester involved in this? I mean, why else would they put us to sleep? But why? There were too many questions, and not enough answers. I gave up trying to calm my doubts, letting them float on my mind unanswered. The moonlight washed the corridors in a pale shade of gray. What are we going to do when we find them? I've never used magic. Not even once? Before I could feel any shame, he took something from inside his fancy uniform. It was a talisman. Use this. It's going to protect you from dark magic. That's how I didn't go to sleep like the other nobles. But you need that. But what about you? Yeah. I can protect myself. From magic? He looked away, hiding his face. You don't need to worry so much about me, Dulari. I can take care of myself. In any case, he would never do anything to me. Why? He paused abruptly. Oh, he's talking about his dad. Duh. Okay, he paused abruptly, as if he had said a secret out loud. He? Then we heard noises. Leon ran ahead of me. I followed, gripping the talisman to feel a bit more safe. After going a little further, we found the source, the jester's room. Stay outside. I'm going in. I looked at him, full of worry, but he tried to do his best to ignore me. Leon opened the door without any fear, like he knew exactly what and who was on the other side. His voice echoed with anger. Not the dark circle on the ground. What the hell? Saruva. Oh, he didn't even call him Dad. Through a crack in the door, I could see King Saruva. I immediately crouched, fearing he would spot me, but this wasn't the case. Oh, my son, right on time, as per usual. Very punctual. What did you do to the king? Nothing. He's just sleeping. He pointed to my father, who was laid on the floor, unconscious. I had to hold in a gasp. Now, would you calm for a bit? You're always so intense when you talk to me. Where's that sweet boy that sang lullabies for his mother? My mother's gone, so I'm not sweet anymore. That's how it works. First name to the parents, that's intense. Yeah, you can see how close they are. That's better. What is happening? Oh, heavens, I thought this day would never come. Saruva laughed with excitement. What should I tell you first? Oh, I know. When a man loves a woman, he starts to... the face! He starts to feel things he didn't before. Excuse me? Are you still drunk, Father? I covered my face, feeling embarrassment by that sudden change of topic. I'm serious. He seeks her presence all the time. He makes sacrifices to be until her. He gets all stupid and stuff. Because that's what love does to a man. He wants to protect her from all the bad things in the world. He wants to keep her all to himself. And for that, well, for love, a man would do anything in his power to be with her for the rest of his life. Is this about the affair you're having? Yeah. Wait, you know about that? Yeah, everybody does. You don't? You didn't know? You sure are cleverer than I anticipated. Okay, rude. But yes, I'm in love with the queen, even if she doesn't see the true value of our love. Well, she doesn't see it yet. Okay, nice guy on Reddit. Here we go. The queen. Leon's voice was distant, slightly shocked. Yes, that was the other part of the truth that I didn't tell him. He didn't have much time to react, though, as Saruva laughed, pointing to the ground. See, this ritual circle, Leon? This is dark magic, the power of Mother Night herself. Something I knew before you were born, and something I hope one day you'll learn, too. Leon just stared at him. His father ignored the silence. Now, the king of this castle is already inside of it. I should not keep him waiting, right? He already knows that I love his wife. That's why she doesn't want to see me anymore. But it doesn't need to be this way. If she wants to be in this kingdom, I won't stop her. I will accept her decision. But who said the king needs to be him? I will take his place. I mean, basic math, really. I like how Leon's face makes it look so unimpressive. He's like, I'm tired. Are you done yet? And then, finally, luck will smile upon me. My father, who was laid on the ground, started to wake up to the sound of Saruva's voice. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Where am I? Himbo King. Oh, Karkaris. Long time no see. Wait, Saruva. But what are we doing here? Were we partying too hard? We're here because you're a disrespectful bastard. I'll tell you that. Okay. He's so fed up. Saruva smiled wickedly to my father's complete confusion. You lost your lady and then sank into a life of promiscuity and vagrancy. Then you came to my kingdom and tried to steal my wife and my very own castle. You were my longtime friend. You thought you would get away with it so easily? What are you talking about, Saruva? He's like, I'm just hot, okay? You wouldn't know, so... He's just like being so chill about it, King, for real. Playing dumb? Alright, it's fine. I never planned to make you understand either way. Saruva started to cast an enchantment, making the lines of the ground shine. Before I could realize what I was doing, I screamed, running into the room. No, father! What? The princess is awake? Dilari! Stop this. Stay away from him. Huh? I wasn't expecting that. And to think I was really looking forward to having you as my daughter-in-law. Which is still weird because you want to marry my mom, but go off. I'll just find another one. Okay, well, damn. Darkness started to grow from Saruva's hand, taking the form of a great ball of shadows, and he pointed it at me. Leon looks a little bit more expressive this time. One big happy family! Dilari! After that, everything happened too fast. The darkness was going to reach me, but then there was an impact. Someone took the blow. Even so, the void engulfed the body and ran into me, and then I felt everything inside of me grow numb and distant. Huh? Am I dreaming? The Jester's gonna be like, what up, Dilari? What up, little kitty cat girl? Is there someone here? Hello? I approached the light with slow steps cautiously. Then I recognized the figure. It was a star. A star! My star. The one who brought me to the world on this very same day 20 years ago. What up, star? It looked entertaining gazing at the ground, like a little kid watching the fish in a river. Seeing it so peacefully, spending their time made my heart sink into my chest. It was this star that made me feel so miserable all these years. Let's just kill it. I'm just joking. It was almost revolting. Tears threatened to flow out my eyes. Why? I continued to watch the ground as if it wasn't even there. Oh, star of solitude, why did you cast such a terrible destiny upon me? Why did you make me be alone for the rest of my life? Why did you push love away from me? They're like, I didn't do shit, fam. You just didn't understand what it meant. For a moment, I thought the star wouldn't react, but then it stared at me blankly for a long time, until finally it stood up, revealing its really short stature, and said, Who are you talking to? Who are you? I was shocked. Was it mocking me? But then they continued. I am no star of solitude. I'm the star of power. The destiny casted upon you was to find love your own way. Ah, independence. See, I wasn't too far off. I never pushed anything away from you. Time and space were granted to your hands. Friendship is built by your words. Destiny is the end of your choices. You are your own fate. Does that mean all this time I got it all wrong? And does that mean that everybody else doesn't have any agency in their own fate? But the loneliness. I was destined to be alone from the start, wasn't I? Men fear powerful women. That's so true, so base, not a fucking lie. The stars said it, not me. They say it's your destiny to be alone when it's actually their fear of your independence. You don't need to worry about that, my child, for these cowards deserve none of your time. True? He really said, stay on your own, queen. You're doing fine. Embrace your power, and powerful people shall come to you. Real. People who are not afraid to reach for the stars. Hell yeah. The little star looked at me, a playful smile on their lips. You are not alone. A knot formed in my throat, tears starting to slide through my cheeks. I am not alone. Thank you. The star giggled, satisfied with the effect of their words. Anytime. Now go, and use that power you always had. I nodded, a bit nervous, and I felt I was being pulled back. The star became more and more distant until I finally opened my eyes again. To face my fears, my insecurities, and King Saruva. I ain't scared of his bitch ass. We're so tall, we could probably just kick him over. Oh, the jester back here? Hello? What this? What this? Why is this here? I do like the little decorums. This is, wait, are we in the jester's room? Why is there so much jester paraphernalia in what I assumed was the king's room? I'm confused. Because we're in, like, King Saruva's castle, so I'm just like, what the fuck? Does the jester just live here willy-nilly in this place? I mean, I assume they just are working together. That makes sense, but I just like, it's the jester's room. Oh, okay. It wasn't a secret. My bad. I thought I was on to something. Jester paraphernalia. I would buy a little jester thing. Like, this is cute. I'd buy it. I'm just a fan of the jester. Just loves them. I woke up to the same room this time, however. Everything was a bit more silent than before. Leon was passed out in front of me. It was then I realized he was the one who tried to protect me. Jester #1 fan. Leon. His face was pale and his body was limp. I almost couldn't feel the natural warmth of a living creature. Was he dying? What have you done to my son? I didn't do shit. That was all on you, dog. Darkness violently grew from Saruva's hand, taking the form of a sword. He pointed it at me, his face full of rage. He should be immune to darkness. His mother made sure he was. What did you do to him? Again, King Saruva swung his sword, and the shadows from his heart manifested into a ball that was aimed directly at me. My mind was racing in a complete panic. I don't know how to defend myself, nor how to use magic. But suddenly a thought started to fill my mind. Light. Just as the moon would scare Mother Night to her slumber, and the stars would shine to protect the living, the only way I could fight the darkness was if I was able to cast light. I shut my eyes, screaming with all my might. Star of power, give me your light! The darkness from Saruva tried to reach me, but before it could, my tiara and the talisman started to shine. The light from them cut the darkness in half, and then dissolved both halves into nothing but memories. What? It felt as if lightning was running through my veins, not as painfully as I imagined, but still uncomfortable. I looked at Saruva, my whole body trembling. He was shocked, but in his eyes, his anger was just as strong as before. Do you think you can face me just because you can cast some petty light? I am a sorcerer. Your power could never. But I have independence, and apparently nobody else has that. I'm not saying that's actually true. It's just funny to think that Dulari is the only person in the world who has any agency at all. Then I heard a loud thud, followed by Saruva's body falling to the ground. My father had hit Saruva over the head with a chair. I was going to say a frying pan. Father, are you okay? I am, but I think you should worry more about him. It's like no reaction from this king, nothing. He's just like, just another day, you know? He pointed to Leon on the ground, completely still. I approached the unconscious boy and tried to shake his body, but there was no response. Tears started to escape from my eyes. Was he going to die? I didn't want him to die. I had so many things I wanted to share with him. So many things I wanted to enjoy with him. I grabbed his light body and hugged it, leaning over him. My father watched the scene, already in mourning silence. This happens every week in his exciting life. I mean, honestly, in this world, I would not even be a little surprised. I touched Leon's forehead with mine, only one last wish remaining. Please don't go. Please don't leave me. I don't want to be alone again. My sobs were timid, echoing through the silent night like a passing river. Leon's skin was feeling colder and colder, the life almost completely gone from him. But, as the stars had heard my prayer, my tears and the pendant of my tiara started to shine again. The light spread through Leon's skin, engulfing him, and for a while it was like his whole body was made of stars. I watched as slowly the light went out, leaving Leon behind, apparently the same as before, until his eyelashes fluttered and he started to wake up. Dula. A smile spread on my face, my tears flowing way more than before. He was alive. Leon! What happened? Are you okay? Did my father... Why are you crying? I thought I had lost you forever. I hugged him tight, and he just sat there, frozen and confused, and for a moment it was like nothing else mattered in the world. After a while, he finally relaxed a little bit. I think this means you're okay. Then Leon spotted his father laying on the ground. He paused before asking, is he dead? I can't stand to have another dead parent. I only have one. Give me 1 second to just process this one, and then we can have another one, please. I distanced myself to look at King Saruva and my father approaching the body. Just unconscious. Is there another expression for this king, or is it just this the entire time? I would not be surprised if this was his only sprite. He never does anything else. I see. As much as he tried to hide his relief, If you see a stick in the back, my husband's playing with the cat, I think. Or what kind of, like, babe, you could have just walked over and grabbed it. Oh my gosh. He's trying not to disturb the stream, but trying to grab things from the other end of the room. He only has 3 assets, sob. As much as he tried to hide his relief, the sigh he let out was revealing enough. It was his father after all, but soon after that, Leon lowered his eyes. I'm sorry for all this mess. I put you all in danger. You didn't do shit, Leon. Hearing that, I shook my head, giving him a smile. On the contrary, it was your talisman that saved me. You saved me. My father offered him a hand, and Leon looked at it with astonishment. You can't blame the children for the mistakes of their parents. And I know you are a good kid. He apprehensively stared at my father, wavering in doubt, before taking his hand, standing up. Thank you, sir. After that, we all stared back to King Saruva, completely still on the ground. I don't know much about what happened, but I'm a bit sad. I never thought he would betray me like this. He seemed like such a nice guy. What the fuck? It was his first acting role. Please be nice to him, Benson. Wait, is this a play? Is this a stage play? Is that what you're telling me? He only needs 3. It's all in his eyes. Leon and I exchanged glances, wondering if it was a good idea to talk about his affair with the queen. But before we could continue any further, we saw a shadow running out of the room. I almost couldn't see them in the darkness, but the colors of their clothes were indistinguishable. The jester! They ran so fast that even before I finished saying that line, their shadow had already disappeared into the corridor. And with them, the motivation for their actions, all the secrets they must have known, were gone. While King Saruva had a very clear reason for his actions, I still couldn't put my finger on why the jester had agreed to help him. Because they want to see the world burn, okay? That's like their entire motivation. Anger, fear, money, maybe that would remain a secret forever. Until we get to the secret route, it had been a long night. Soon enough, the guards started to wake up just as the nobles did. Everyone was confused, but as the king explained everything, all the nerves started to calm down. A bit. The guards arrested King Saruva, and while they tried their best to find the jester, they were nowhere to be found. We decided to leave the rest of the investigation to the guards, and we resumed my birthday celebrations that night. After all, I was so mentally tired that I couldn't think of anything other than laying on my bed and sleeping. So real. So real, so true. Oh, I haven't saved in a second. It's probably like towards the end, but I'm still gonna save anyway. And I skipped a line. Whoops. Go back, go back. A few days later, the nobles that came for my birthday prepared to leave. The atmosphere was still a bit weird from the previous events, but somehow everyone managed to keep their spirits high. Sitting on a bench, I watched as their servants packed the carriages, the wind blowing softly through the trees of the castle. So you're 20 now. Leon sat by my side, wearing his usual calm expression. Yeah. But his smile was back, you know? We stayed silent for a moment until he spoke again. Welcome to the world of adults, I guess. This place sucks. If this is the world of adults, I prefer to be a child. No, for real. He laughed, but I knew that after everything that had happened, he agreed. What will happen to your kingdom now that your father, well, I think my brother will take care of everything. You have a brother? I'd like to meet him. No, I'm sorry. Not me. No, me, not Dulari. That's what I'm trying to say. He was already doing that, actually, since my father put him in charge of the kingdom's affairs, so I think nothing will really change. And what about you? Me? Yeah, what are you gonna do now? He stared blankly at the road, pondering his options. I think I need to go back. He avoided looking at me for a while. He knew we were both saddened about it. Then I remembered something. Oh, right, the talisman. I kept it with me since the incident, the shiny silver chain, holding a beautiful moonstone. I took it off my neck and offered it to him. He eyed and took it, a sad tone painting his eyes. He caressed the moonstone with a melancholic nostalgia. Did you know it was my mother who gave me this? I guess. Oh, really? Yeah, she said it was to protect me from my father. She always knew that he was a dark magic user. He looked away, thoughtful. But she loved him, even so. Her eyes had this never-ending sparkle every time she saw him. I never understood how she could keep loving him knowing it was unrequited. That's just how love works, I guess. It never truly ends, if you're willing to nurture it. His blue eyes glanced at me, locking onto mine with a weird mixture of sadness and hope. Meanwhile, every fiber of my being was begging my heart to make him stay. We stared at each other for a long minute, speechless, until Leon started to fidget. Your eyes. I blushed hard. Ugh, I forgot he can read what I'm feeling. Oh shit, that's right. I forgot too. I immediately avoided eye contact. Looking away, trying to hide my blush. This was so embarrassing. Um, when I glanced at him again, I could see that he was blushing. He was a blushing mess, just like me. Dula, there's one thing I always wanted to tell you. What is that? What is it? He licked a deep breath. He took a deep breath to prepare himself. I always admired how you dealt with the blessing of your star. How you always tried to make the best of it. And every time I saw you struggling with it, I wanted to help you. I continued to stare at the ground, still embarrassed, but I had so many things to worry about back at home that I ended up being the one you needed. I ended up being the one you needed to help. I raised my head, only to see a guilt on his face. That expression pierced my heart like a dagger. I'm sorry for all of this. Before I could realize, tears started to go down my cheeks, and a sudden urge to hug him overtook me. Oh, he trembled inside my arms, and he was trying not to cry too. It's not your fault. And for a moment, he continued to hold back his own tears. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Leon. These two is just a competition of being like, it's not your fault. You're not in trouble. You're actually fine. It's just like counterbalancing their own negative thoughts about each other, like with each other. What a great ship dynamic. He hugged me back shyly. His voice was shaking, raw emotions deep hidden in his heart finally escaping after a long time. How could you not hate me all this time? I never do anything right. I'm a terrible person. I'm selfish, distant, you are my friend. That's more than enough. Also, you're really cute. And finally, he let his voice escape as low sobs. His tears bloomed in his eyes, making a sorrowful spring full of flowers and sadness. Not the sad flowers. I cried too, to think that he was alone all this time. It hit unnervingly close to home. Let's stargaze again. At your place. You're already my star, Dulari. Aww, cut it out. This shit's gonna give you diabetes. It felt so reassuring. The faint whisper tickled in my ear. I love you. I felt my cheeks warming up, suddenly conscious of all the physical contact between us. I love you too. Looking away. No, really, I mean. He sighed, almost ashamed. He parted from the hug, looking away like a guilty puppy. I really love you. Leon. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold a chuckle. Leon. I leaned close to him. He refused to look at me. Leon, look at me. When our eyes slowly met again, I smiled. I love you too. His eyes went wide, like I had said the most unbelievable thing. But as he stared at my eyes, his face grew redder and redder, as if he could read all the loving words I held back in all those years of distance. Help this man. Then he finally convinced himself. As our faces grew closer, we touched foreheads, smiling, our hands intertwined, the soft touch almost ticklish. Ah, hands. My child! My stomach was fluttering with hundreds of butterflies, but it wasn't uncomfortable. Rather, it was exciting. Leon's soul was mellow, full of dissipating melancholy. His sobs were still there, but they started to calm down as we kept each other close. What a good boyfriend material, too, to just be so in tune with your emotions constantly. I mean, it might be annoying from time to time. I'm sure it would be, but, like, it would also be such a nice thing. This feeling continued to take over my senses as I forgot more and more about the world around me as I thought. Our lonely souls that wandered for so long, craving more for company, for a place to belong in, finally found their place under the stars. Hey! Was that the end of Route 1? Huh? Was it? Oh, cute! Good job, Len! I know we're only technically, like, halfway through it, maybe a third, technically. But this is a good place for me to take, like, a small little pee break. You know, everybody get some water, walk around, you know, do all that good stuff. And then we have enough time in the stream, we'll probably be able to do all of Ezekiel's route if it's of an equal length. So let's do that. Everybody, break time. I don't know if I should leave it here. I should save. That's for damn sure. Well, I guess it's going back to the main menu. Hold up, Hold up. Well then, is this not the happy fairy tale ending you wish for? Princess? I'm happy for you, of course. But you haven't forgotten about me, have you? You should never forget. Every time you see a mirror, you shall remember. I'm hiding in the darkness. Not ominous at all. Cute! But we'll be right back with it. So let me get to my break screen real fast, and everybody get some drinks, go pee, all that stuff. BRB, bye bye. Okay, we're back. We're back. And my mic is on this time, unlike when I launched the stream initially. Still annoyed by that, by the way. Didn't let that go. Also, for those that have moved into the Discord already, thank you. And I have like verified or whatever, I have to like manually make it so that you can access all the other channels and stuff. So if you're in there, I'll like if I recognize who you are or whatever and have seen you in chat before, I'll just verify it. But usually it's there for like people who like I don't know, if that makes sense. Oh, what's the Discord? I linked it in the it's on Blue Sky. There's a post uh for this announcement of the stream, Jesus. And I linked it's a Discord specifically for this stream. So if you're a viewer and you want to be updated and just hang out and all that kind of stuff and talk about specific streams, I wanted to have a space where people could do that. So feel free to join if you want. Also, it's fine if you don't, because I know having a lot of Discord service can be overwhelming, to put it lightly, and I'm obnoxious, so I'm probably just gonna constantly post in there, so it could be a lot. But anyway, that was really good. I'm surprised we got through like one of the routes already, and Leon's so cute. You know, we were just drawn to him naturally by fate. But I'm really excited for Easy too. So I'm excited to see how they're really gonna differentiate, like how much of Dulari's mother affair. We didn't really learn much about that. Maybe it's something that will be revealed in like the secret route, or maybe it's meant to be kind of like you're not supposed to know. And like that's fine. It's not like, you know, it still makes sense even if it's explained or not. So should I just start again, or should I just load from a save and then go from there? My gut's telling me I should probably just start again. Let me keep drinking. In the meantime, let me verify Karen. Doop 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 doop. There we go. Should be all good, and I'll be hanging out in there when I'm obviously not streaming. Okay, so here we go. Onto the easy route. Not to say it's easy, and not to say they're easy. That just, it's easy. I wonder if this changes anything, but I still want to keep like a fun story. I love a fun story. Oh yeah, this is a click. I was like, what? What? Click on all the things and leave. I guess I could have just leaved initially. I didn't need to click on everything. I just felt like I had to, okay? There's no rhyme or reason for the things that I do. Okay. It's not gonna skip it even if so. So, sit by the fire. I can't believe that one civil choice made that much of a difference. I was like, oh, okay, you know, but like, it works, it works. I approached the fireplace, longing for the warmth of the fire. Ezekiel was sitting next to it, watching as the flames consumed the log slowly. The crackling fire was the only remaining sound of the room. Ah, Princess, didn't see you there. What do you think of the party so far? It was nice, maybe a bit overwhelming. I see. He began to fidget in his spot. What is it? Huh? You look nervous. It's just, I love you. He looked down like a guilty puppy. I may have broken a cup. What do you mean? I tried to clean the mess, but then someone tripped on me and fell, and then there was more wine on the floor. What do you mean? I'm sorry. It's okay. I sat beside him, looking at the fire. Suddenly, all the adrenaline of the party was worn out, leaving me with emptiness. I was so tired, and I felt so weak, so helpless. Remembering my parents' words, I felt sad again. I was born to be alone. How could I ever marry someone? How could I ever continue our lineage? I wish I wasn't born under the star of solitude. Easy watched me quietly, a bit confused by my sudden statement. How can I ever marry someone like that? It's my fate to die alone. You won't die alone. The seriousness of his words took me by surprise, but then he smiled. Whether you like it or not, I'll always be by your side. You can't get rid of me. I'm like a leech. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. But like a pleasant one, you know? I went straight to bed, exhausted from the party. I thought that this was going to be a normal birthday, but maybe a little sadder than usual. This might be the same. I always hate, like, at this point when I have to skip things. The sun night. The sun and the moon. I love the sun and the moon. I actually have a sun and a moon tattooed on the back of my ear. Wait, you might be able to see it. I think this one's a moon. I can't remember. They're just kind of on there. And then on this side, the sun. If I'm not showing it, I'm sorry. Just imagine the sun in its place. Because I couldn't see. But it's funny because with Ray and Celine in Rectifier, like, it's really important to me that they kind of represent the sun and the moon, because Celine literally means the moon, and then Ray is obviously like sun rays. So, like, not that they can't, you know, still have variations in their personality or anything, but I just like that duality a lot. So you're speaking my language is what I'm saying. Okay. Where? Oh, we're in a different place. The ballroom. This is my house, but it feels different, younger somehow. It's the same walls, but their colors look more vibrant. It's the same candles, but they shine with the spark of the youth. There is music filling the air, people dancing and laughing, spinning like a wheel. Wait, I remember this moment. This is the ball of my 15th birthday, not so long ago. The day when I danced with Ezekiel. Oh, look, guy, my father was sick, you see, so he couldn't dance with me that time, as we usually do. But then Ezekiel volunteered to be my partner. No one thought he would pull it off, but to my surprise, it was the best dance I ever had. How pleasant. Oh no, the darkness! From the ground, a strange darkness started to emerge. Like a fountain, it spread through the walls, swallowing them into its power. All of the colors were disappearing, as if they were dying right in front of me. Soon, the silence and I were the only things remaining. Whoa. The darkness started to crawl over my feet, making me panic, and then a voice echoed through the emptiness. Oh, Princess Dulari! It sounded so distant, but at the same time very, very close. The world is unfair, isn't it? And for a second I felt a warm breath on my neck. Yeah, enough of the warm breaths. Cut it out, jester, I assume. I woke up, but it was still pitch dark. A nightmare. It made sense considering all the bad feelings I was having, but I could hear faint noises coming from somewhere, like furniture being moved. Okay, yeah, what's this about? I couldn't say where exactly, but there's someone else awake? Why would they be moving furniture anyway? I hope it's just father being weird. Or the servants preparing for tomorrow. Yep. I was too tired to think. I was tired, so tired of everything. Oh, some skips are repeated, so you can skip. Yeah, I worry. Sometimes I feel like I'll miss something, but I forget that Renpai, like, accommodates for that part, so. The next day, I woke to the sound of a servant banging on the door. Princess, princess, wake up. It's already morning. I was going to respond when a yawn took my voice away for a second. Yawn. I'm coming. Well, your father was calling for you. He is going to put on a picnic for the guests. Tell him I'm on my way. Yes, my lady. They left without saying anything more. I stood there for a while, trying to collect my thoughts, readying myself to interact with strangers. I wasn't very excited to talk to strangers so early in the morning, especially considering my current state. I couldn't even keep my eyes open for long. As I wandered to the bathroom, I felt the cold breeze of the morning chill, the sudden realization of being completely alone. I gulped, feeling the fear of my nightmare all over again. I hope I can forget this dream as soon as possible. I quickly reached the bathroom where I would wash my face with cold water. Little by little, that bad sensation was washed away, though my willingness to socialize was as low as ever. I don't want to talk to anyone. Unless it's my faithful knight. Sighing, I decided to go to the ballroom. Even if it was just a dream, I wanted to go there, just for the nostalgia. The place was calm and silent, very different from my dream, but it was a nice silence, a comforting one. I imagined people dancing again in that ballroom, people that I actually knew, instead of just political friendships. I really wanted to throw a party for all my friends one day. No! Huh? Come back here, you little freak! Hey, hey! Before I could recognize the voice, the owner of it ran into the room. Ezekiel was chasing a cat. Hey, don't call it a freak! Ah, come back here! The poor creature was more astonished by the heavy steps of Ezekiel than anything else. It crossed the room so fast that I did not notice when it hid under my shirt, shaking like the stem of a flower in a storm. The bodyguard approached me, breathing loudly. He looked in all directions, but he wasn't able to find the little fugitive. Princess. I gave him some time to recover. He eventually started to catch his breath. Well, okay, so, did you see a cat around here? The cat was still trembling between my feet. No. Why? Okay. Something happened? Oh, it's just that one of the nobles said that their cat was missing, so they asked you to find it? No, I just heard them and started to search. Aw. Even though you don't know what the cat looks like? When you put it like that... Oh, easy. What am I gonna do with you? He scratched the back of his neck. I'm sorry. Help him. It's fine. He stared at the ground, embarrassed. For a moment, there was a silence, and that silence made me feel a bit numb again. I looked away, staring at the windows, when Ezekiel spoke. I thought you would be at the picnic. What are you doing here? I'm in no mood to socialize. Oh, sorry. That sad expression. Oh, wait. I didn't mean it that way. I mean, I don't want to talk to the other nobles, that's it. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. Oh, okay. I was pondering if I should share the events of last night when I remembered that Easy had the bad habit of sleeping late. He must have heard something. Easy. Princess? Did you hear anything weird last night? Weird? Yeah, like furniture being moved from one side to another. No, I just heard some trees, rats, King Kakaris's snores. I'm afraid that something is going to happen. You heard about it, right? The supermoon, when the spirits awaken? Honestly, Princess, I don't believe in those kinds of rumors. It's hard to think that something invisible just wants to mess around because the moon grew bigger. Easy, you have a power because of the stars. The moon is just among that. What do you mean you don't believe in that? Oh, that's right. Ezekiel wasn't the type to pray to the stars, nor believe in spiritual forces. So to him, it would obviously sound like I was just overthinking things. Does he think that his strength just comes from him? I mean, go off. But it's really funny. I felt a bit dumb sharing my worries with him. Not that I wasn't overthinking at this point, but I sighed. We should go to the picnic. Maybe. Right. I'll come with you. Are you... Does he not have a power? And he just says that he has super strength, but he works really hard on it? That's me speculating. Maybe I was supposed to keep things to myself after all. Deal with them alone, as per usual. Oh, food for thought? Whenever I'm in like a stream and somebody's playing my game and they ask questions, I'm just like, who's to say? Who knows? Not me. When I moved, the cat was hiding under my skirt. Took the opportunity to leave, running away. While it escaped, I went to face my own fears. I said shirt earlier instead of skirt. Whoops. The rest of the morning went slowly, time passing like a very lazy cloud. Not even the dev knows the ultimate mystery. That's true. It's like a carrot game, that's for sure. Some things will just never be answered. Don't worry about it. During the picnic, there were music and jokes from the jester, but everything felt stagnant and tasteless. Boneless, if you will. I tried talking to some nobles to pass the time, but all those conversations felt boring. I never turned on my light up here. Well, I guess it'd be kind of distracting, so let's turn that off. It was fine the way that it was. Oh gosh. There we go. I was like, can I not turn it off now? I tried talking to some nobles to pass the time, but all those conversations felt boring. I just wanted to go back to sleep again. Having to pretend that everything was alright was starting to wear me out. And while I tried to keep everything inside of me together, the night came without warning. Oh, I see the skip. Oh, okay. It just meant like that one line. The second ball of my birthday was very similar to the first one. This time, the jester delighted everyone with their tales, talking through colorful puppets. People cheered and clapped and ate and smiled all together, and I pretended to be there to be cheering. Okay. And then Mom being ominous. Unlike last night, there were no noises anymore. Maybe Ezekiel was right, I was just overthinking. I opened the door to leave my room, feeling safe to go. I ran through some corridors and managed to see a glimpse of Leon looking at the moon just before he headed to the guest rooms. He felt so distant, I wish I could reach him. I like that there's this moment of like showing the other love interest and being like, yeah, I wanted to do something, but I felt like I didn't want to bother them, and then just going to the one that you're on. I think that's interesting, but not now. We already did that, though. As I continued to walk, I reached the gardens. Oh, okay, so this scene happens regardless. Okay, interesting. I went outside, hoping to take a walk to see if it would wake me up properly. But as I turned to a corner, I spotted the jester, sitting on the parapet, smiling like the fool they were. Are you looking for something, princess? Not really. I'm just taking a walk. Putting your muscles to use, I see. You are a very active princess, after all. If the king would give you a sword, I think you would be pretty good with it. You'd be pretty good with it. You flatter me way too much. I don't have that much energy. Oh, well, I probably fooled myself then. I thought it was only natural for you to be awake at such late hours since you are so energetic. Are they talking about... No, it can't be. I felt like the jester noticed my reaction because their smile grew a little bit. Am I wrong? Oh, wow, did I finally make the princess speechless? Lucky day, lucky day. I gulped. Did they spot me overhearing the conversation? But I did not see them. I really like the way that the jester speaks. Ah, princess, I finally found you. The king asked me to escort you. Did something happen? He said that I should stick with you to avoid any trouble. I rolled my eyes, suppressing a smile. Fine, then. Are you going to join us, jester? I'm afraid the king has other plans for me this morning. Oh, okay. See you around, then. As we left the jester, I gave a big relieved sigh. Are you okay? I'm fine. That was a lie. The jester almost got me there. Even though I didn't know exactly what their intentions were, I was glad Ezekiel guided me away. Almost as if noticing my worry, Easy spoke to me. You don't need to take everything they say seriously, you know. I know. But there's more to them that meets the eye, that I could tell. I wish I knew what, exactly. The way they spoke, they must know about something, or maybe they're just fooling around. Yeah, they are. I looked at Easy, uh, a bit dumbfounded that he guessed my thoughts, especially him who seemed so distracted all the time. Who was it to distinguish a fool from a wise man after all? I really like that line, so I'm glad that it keeps getting repeated. Later that morning, the king gathered everyone for lunch. The nobles started drinking to pass the time, and soon everyone was either a bit or very much drunk. Some of them tried to bother me while I was eating, but Easy shooed them away, thankfully. Just get out of here. If having a bunch of strangers at my house wasn't enough already, now that they were all drunk and dancing and shouting, even my father had joined them. Some of the nobles who weren't completely wasted placed tables away from the commotion, trying to have a moment of peace. One of them, of course, was my mother. She stared at the drunken nobles, tired. Sigh, sometimes I wonder why we even have a jester, since all the Kakaris needs to do is drink a little to become a clown. Damn, alright. She was trying to say it nonchalantly, but it sounded more bitter than she anticipated. Father can be like that when he wants to have fun. If he at least didn't embarrass all of us while entertaining himself. She sighed again. Don't take a fool as a spouse, Dulari. Some stupid man that will ruin your life. She's so real and base, which is crazy because it's like you're with the most foolish, dumbest man there is in this story. But go off. I mean, like, she wants to be. That's what I was trying to say. This was my mistake. I looked at her, my heart sinking at the commentary. She wasn't happy. She wasn't happy at all. I feared one day that could be me. Nah. Okay, after lunch, I decided to hang out of the garden. Right now, it was the quietest place in the castle. To prevent more nobles from harassing me, Ezekiel continued to guard me. As I searched for a spot to sit, he stood still, trying to make conversation. This looks like a family gathering. Does your family pester you with annoying questions about your personal life? Yes. Wait, what? That honestly took me by surprise. My uncles love to pester me with things like, when are you gonna marry? Did you find a girlfriend yet? Your brother already has a son and he's younger than you. But you're only 22. That's what I try to say, but they think I'm joking, like I'm too old for that kind of joke. What? But that's absurd. How old is your brother after all? 16. That's too young. Is your family out of their mind? Yeah. I know it's not the ideal situation, but he's a good father, and I know that my uncles mean well when they ask me this stuff. What? But it's fine. They're just afraid that I'll end up childless, like not a single legacy in the world. That hits a bit too close to home. Princess? Crazy family dynamics, but very, like, Game of Thronesy, as we had said previously. I hadn't noticed how silent I'd suddenly become. All these complicated things, my birthday, my mother's dissatisfaction into my father and her infidelity, they were all stacking up in my mind and my heart. There was so much unhappiness around me that I couldn't help but feel bad. I couldn't solve everyone's problems at all. How could I even solve the kingdom's affairs when I became queen? Sheer luck. Are you feeling well? Yes. Sorry. Were you going to say something? I was just going to say that I don't really care about ending childless. His voice sounded confident, almost soft in a way. As long as the king doesn't end up like that, because that would be a problem. You don't think about having kids? For a moment, Ezekiel almost looked thoughtful, but he put whatever he was thinking aside, answering a bit too quickly. Plot armor. Not you calling yourself out. I can't. Your life is more important, isn't it? There was a strange hint of sadness mixed up with hope of his voice, like a dream that almost came true, until reality tore it apart, but even so it continued to live. Then Ezekiel returned to his usual tone. The king and the queen need you. They would be sad if something happened. That wasn't a lie, but remembering the face my mother had had while looking at my drunk father made me think, they already are. Huh? What do you mean? My mother isn't happy, and there's nothing I can do about it. Don't be so pessimistic, princess. I'm sure she had a lover. For a second, it was almost as if Ezekiel didn't hear me, but then his expression started to turn into confusion and shock. What? I saw it last night. She was with another man. Suddenly, everything went silent. Me and Ezekiel in the garden. No one was expecting me to say these words, but there I was, blurting everything out. But they broke up, and I'm afraid that he wants to hurt her. I can't help her, Easy. I can't do anything. This feeling of uselessness was consuming me. The afternoon breeze was whispering between us, trying to speak the words we were struggling to come up with. Who is he? King Saruva. Him? Shh. Sorry, it is starting to make sense. What do you mean? He said to me that he had lost one of his belongings last night and asked for my help to find it. But I spent the whole night looking in the courtyard and couldn't find anything. He said, "Yes, Ezekiel, go jump in a lake. It's probably there." That's he probably said that to trick me. Maybe. And it worked. You're too gullible for your own good. Me too, though. Oh, I'm sorry. It was impossible to stay serious with him, even when the situation was weighing on my heart. But still, all of this was incredibly overwhelming. While I wanted to lay down and sleep for a while, my mind couldn't help but stay hypervigilant. I must have gone silent again because Ezekiel looked at me with worry. Princess? You should rest. With my lack of reaction, he started to fidget a bit nervously. I'll keep an eye on King Saruba, just to make sure he doesn't do something funny. And what guarantees me that he won't distract you again? Well... Oh, he scratched the back of his neck, looking down, almost embarrassed. If it's a direct order, I will happily oblige to anything you say. Damn, don't say that. Don't say that to someone like me. Something about the way he said those words made me weirdly shy, as I had never been before. Ezekiel often got embarrassed by his own silliness, but this time it was a type of awkwardness. Another type of awkwardness. He was not ashamed of his lack of attention. It was the opposite. He was embarrassed by his own interest in the matter. There was something about how he suddenly couldn't look at me in the eyes anymore. It's an order. Please, watch him for me. As you wish, Princess. He bowed awkwardly before suddenly realizing what he should be doing. If you'll excuse me. And then he was gone, looking the strangest that I had ever seen him. At least I could count on him. I was glad that despite everything, Ezekiel was still the type of person that would move sky and mountains to help anyone in need. I smiled. I was happy to have him by my side. Sweet boy, he makes my cheeks hurt. After that, I went to my room. He was right. I was really tired. I rested on my bed, gazing at the wall for a short while, until a short nap interrupted my vigilance. Ooh. I heard a faint sound in my room and opened my eyes. What, Mom? What the hell? Oh, sorry for waking up. Are you feeling all right? Yeah. What is it? Did something happen? Oh, not really. I was looking for my pen. I needed to write a letter, but I can't find it anywhere. Did you look in your room? I actually started by the throne room. Oh, this is similar to the dad scene. Interesting. And I still have some ground to search. Oh, I know. Since you suggested it, you can look in my room. That will save me a lot of time. Okay. Thank you, dear. I'll continue searching. She left, leaving me alone again. Oh, this nap gave me a little bit of energy indeed. I feel more motivated. And with that boost, I went to my mother's room. Time to click on all your stuff, Mom. Wait. Is the dad in the bed this time? The only thing that looked a bit out of place was my father, who was napping on the bed. Well, that's what he gets for getting drunk. True. Anyhow, let's look for this pen. On the bed first. My father sure is sleeping tight. I started searching. And searching. And searching. Snore. But there's no pen here. Oh, I did it again. Whoops. Sorry. Is your chat not cut up on the side? I guess not. Sometimes it has to refresh. It's kind of weird. It's the widget. Maybe... I'm gonna try one thing, and if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna, like, hide it for the rest of the game. Okay, maybe that'll help. It seems to have done carrot, so... Oh, true, it's still back on the 3 expression. Weird widget. Okay. Oh, stop skipping. We don't need that. Some rings, a jewel, but no pen. Tissues, a piece of cloth, but no pen. But there's some balls. Oh no, it's a puppet. Ah! We're so back. It's a puppet. The only person who this could belong to was the jester, but why would they leave a puppet right here? Talking, I am talking in real time. A puppet. God. Jester. What is their relationship, bro? Jester. Why are you here, Jester? I'm a sleeping. What is he saying? The jester was here? Yeah, but they were not allowed to enter the private rooms. I looked at the puppet. Even though the item emanated a jolly aura with its bright colors, the only thing I can feel was a growing uneasiness. Was the jester here? What were they doing here? Were they the one who... No, I just can't judge people so fast, not without proof. I would sound delirious this way. Still, there's something wrong about this. I continued to search the room, but no luck. The pen was not here. I sighed and looked out the window. The sun was already setting, and soon it would be the ball of my birthday. The supermoon will finally arise. Remembering that, I unconsciously touched the star on my tiara, the gift my father had given me when I was a little girl. And we did read this part, so I'll just, skim past it a little bit. Jester and Papa just hanging out. Yeah, the best friends. I'm scared, Father. Anything can happen tonight. What if it's something bad? Wait, maybe the reason that the father was so expressionless last time was because they, trusted the Jester to not do anything bad. Maybe, I don't know. But before I could elaborate any further, a servant appeared in the room. Heavens, King Kakaris! We need to get you ready for the ball. Ball? The servant shook their head. I used that as my cue to leave. I hope everything turns out all right. They're besties. Jester's friend-shaped, and has done nothing wrong in their entire life. Exactly. An hour later, we all gathered in the courtyard to watch the moon rise. The nobles surrounded my lonely figure, creating a big circle around me. Oh, I can skip this. Oh, my throat. They made an exaggerated pose. As in complete disbelief, I ignored their antics and showed them the puppet. Is this yours? Where did you find it, my dear princess? Oh, okay. I guess one thing was different. Oh, you are more noisy than I could have ever guessed. They looked down as if pondering something and then looked back at me, still smiling. They made a signal for me to come close and whispered next to my face. Wanna know a secret? Yeah, tell me. Before I could react, a great darkness escaped from the jester's hand. Okay, just not gonna tell me. Suddenly, I was very sleepy. I couldn't keep my eyes open. The last thing I heard was the swing of a sword echoing into the void. Until Ezekiel's voice brought me back to reality. Princess! The eyes of the jester were shocked. The darkness surrounded them in a defensive manner. Ezekiel was swinging his sword with might and anger, the blade cutting the air. The jester almost couldn't dodge the attacks and was retreating fearfully. You damn bodyguard! I should have killed you when I had the chance. Take that regret to your grave. Yeah! He tried to hit the jester once more, but they swallowed his sword with their darkness, taking it away from him. I'll give you another chance, and be glad that I don't have time to waste with you. Then, that sword flung back at Ezekiel. Out of the cloud of darkness, he dodged it just in time, but it did scratch his face. Okay! While he was distracted with his wound, the jester suddenly disappeared out of thin air. Easy! Ezekiel was panting heavily, visibly tired. His eyes were staring at nothing, almost too shocked to react. They're still cute when they're evil. That's so true! I wasn't seeing things, was I? They really were using dark magic, weren't they? Yes, they were. Then he suddenly looked at me, as if I had just appeared in front of him. Princess, are you hurt somewhere? They didn't do anything to you, right? If evil, why cute? Right! Looking into my eyes in a complete state of worry, he almost looked desperate. Though he wasn't worried about me, rather he was worried that some negligence of his had put my life at risk. A strange sense of devotion. I'm fine. You should be worrying about yourself. No, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Fuck me. A thin line of blood came out from the scratch. The cut didn't look deep. Realizing that, Ezekiel started to look around, rubbing the blood away. Where did they go? I don't know. Ezekiel had a serious gaze on his face, one I had never seen before. He grabbed the sword again and started to swing it anxiously. I'm going to search for them. Can you stay here? My gaze switched between him and the sleeping guest. Well, of course I could keep them company, help them wake up, but the breath of the night was cold. All that silence was making me uneasy. I don't want to stay here alone. Oh, is my pizza in there? Okay, cool. He stared at me as if pondering something. Then he shyly reached for my hand. Stay close, then. As I grabbed his hand, I could feel it flinch. If it felt especially warm, a nice contrast to the cold world. Ezekiel looked away, hiding his face from me. I almost felt myself doing the same. Why was I suddenly so aware of his touch, of his soft movements as he pulled me gently towards the corridors? I wonder. I didn't know. I do, though. But it was nice, regardless. The whole castle was very silent. I just realized that Cairo from Golden Bonds has almost the exact same pose as Ezekiel here. All knights are the same gender, okay? They are the same type. They are in the same font, okay? I love it. It's a good one. Our footsteps echoed through walls as we walked by hand in hand. Ezekiel looked around, trying to find any sign of the jester. Nights are the same. Yes, LMAO. A voice, a sound, anything. I remembered him mentioning how King Saruva tried to mislead him last night. It's the night pose. True, true. Can't fight it. Was King Saruva involved in this? But why? And what about the jester? Where did they learn dark magic? There were too many questions, but not enough answers. I gave up trying to calm my doubts, letting them float on my mind unanswered. The moonlight washed the corridors, casting everything in a pale shade of gray. I'm sorry. What for? That moment, the gesture that took my sword away, as it was nothing. I should have taken magic more seriously. It's a dangerous thing. It's fine. You always relied on your strength. It's only natural. I thought you were gonna die. I looked at him, his eyes staring at the ground. I will not let that happen. Feeling the moonlight caressing my face, I remembered my fate. Was my life that worthy? Even when I couldn't find a single partner? Even when I couldn't fulfill my only duty to continue the monarchy? I looked down, mimicking him. He could have died. That sword could have pierced his neck. But here he was, still talking about protecting me. I didn't deserve that. I was a failure. Why would anyone even want me to be alive? And on top of that, damn, Dulari! He couldn't leave my side. He was obligated to be with me until the day I found a proper suitor. Would that day ever come? Wouldn't he be wasting his life? I looked at our intertwined hands. Would he ever be able to live the way he wanted to, without having to worry about me? Princess. I looked up. Ezekiel had stopped his tracks and was looking at me with worry. Are you okay? I couldn't say anything. Even if I could, I was interrupted by noises. Ezekiel immediately looked around, tightening the grip on his sword as he looked for the source. After walking a little further, we found it, the jester's room. Ezekiel did not hesitate to storm in, making his presence known. Okay, maybe I'm, misremembering something here, but we were in the other kingdom on Leon's route, right? So does the jester just have a room at both palaces, or did it somehow converge back here and I just missed the line or something? Because, that's suspicious as fuck. Dulari making up for the lack of Leon's depression. Oh gosh, so true. There's nobody here to what? No? Suspicious. Though through a crack in the door, I could see King Saruva. I immediately crouched, fearing he would spot me, but this wasn't the case. In both routes, we are in Dulari's kingdom. For whatever reason, I thought we were in the other one. I'm sorry, that was my own bad. Just ignore me, okay? Reading comprehension is a necessary skill. Well, if it's not the dumbass guard and the dumbass reader who can't understand what's going on. How did you find us? Or did you get lost and find this place accidentally? So it was you all along. Where's the king? He's right here. He pointed to my father, who was laid on the floor unconscious. I had to suppress my gasp. Now, why would you calm down a bit? You don't want to hurt anyone by accident, do you? Ezekiel stared at him, but remained quiet. That's better. What are you doing? My, that's the most intelligent question you've asked in ages. Damn, okay, rude. It was one mistake, dude. I'm sorry. Alright? Not all of us can be perfectly intelligent, alright? Saruva smiled. When a man loves a woman, he started not this shit again. He did it before. What? I covered my face, feeling embarrassed by that sudden change of topic. He seeks her presence all the time. He makes sacrifices to be with her. He gets all dumb and stuff. Because that's what love does to a man. He wants to protect her from all the bad things in the world. He wants to keep her all to himself. And for that, well, for love, a man would do anything in his power to be with her for the rest of his life. What does any of that have to do with the king? Wait, are you in love with the king? No, of course not, you moron. Okay, well now I'm not too convinced, to be honest. Why were you so emotional about it, huh? Interesting. So why did you... You know what? Forget it. Just forget everything I said. I already did, okay? This is going nowhere. King Saruva pointed to the ground. I'll switch bodies with the king so I can finally be with the one I love the most. Queen Vindanchi. The only person I have truly loved in my whole life. Aw. Wait. Switch bodies? What the fuck? Queen Vindanchi? But she's married. You can't do that. You can't lie on the internet. What the fuck? Oh, for heaven's sake. My father, who was as dumb as Ezekiel is, I'm just joking, was still laying on the ground, starting to wake up from Saruva's voice. Where am I? Oh, Kakaris. Long time no see. King, he's trying to switch bodies with you. What? King Saruman glared daggers at Ezekiel. Damn snitch! I'll kill you for this. My father was still confused and sleepy. He rubbed his eyes. I love how the vibe of this scene is so different in this round. Yeah. Ezekiel's just not taking any of it. I love him. So why would you do this, Saruva? Well, because he's in love with the queen. My father blinked. What? Screw this. Saruva started to cast the enchantment, making the lines on the ground shine. My father looked down, still trying to understand what was happening. Bro, process faster. Before I could realize what I was doing, I screamed, running into the room. Father! My king! Without thinking, Ezekiel rushed to the middle of the circle as it started to glow brighter. After that, everything happened too fast. There was a blinding light, and then darkness took over. And then we met the star again, and suddenly everything started to feel distant, very distant. The star's just like, nah, girl, you good? Basically. I woke up to the same room. This time, however, everything was a bit more silent than before. Everyone was passed out in front of me. My father, King Saruba, Ezekiel. The room felt darker. The only source of light was the moon, shining in the cold night. Father? Their bodies were still limp, and a strong uneasiness started to grow inside of me. Were they dead? Easy. Wake up. I crouched by Ezekiel's side. His expressionless face didn't suit him. Easy? Please? Wake up. I felt tears blurring my vision. Please. You need to wake up. Don't leave me. You said you were always going to be by my side. Psst. Pathetic. I hastily looked over the direction of the voice. Was someone else here? But who? You nobles are always pathetic. Oh, the jester's here this time? Okay. The jester. The jester! They approached King Saruva, an indifferent expression on their face. All that planning was for what? For a stupid knight to come and destroy your plans? This is ridiculous, even for you. You brought me food? Thank you. As I continued to look at them, the jester eventually turned towards me. And you... They pressed the knife against my throat. Its blade was as dark as the night sky. I didn't see it before, so it was probably made of darkness. You are so helpless without your trusty bodyguard. You would never survive outside these castle walls. Even if their words were harsh, there was this sad glitter in their eyes as if they were witnessing the death of an innocent once again. They tightened their grip on the knife. They got a knife! Were they going to kill me? I mean, that's how it's looking. I'm sorry. Their eyes were still glaring at me, but I continued. I wish I could have been a better princess for my family, for this kingdom. Someone worthy of their trust, worth their hope. But I'm always relying on others to help me, and for that I am sorry. People shouldn't die for someone like me. For a moment I was certain I was going to die. But just then the jester threw their knife away, groaning. Damn you. Before I could say anything, their shadow disappeared into the corridor. And with them, the motivation for their actions, all the secrets they must have known, were gone. But we'll find out next week, don't worry. I looked back to Ezekiel's face, filled with sadness, and caressed his hair. Was this how it was going to end? But I had so many things I wanted to say. I wanted to share, so many things I wanted to enjoy with them. I closed my eyes, praying for the stars. I want to help people. I want to be by their side. I don't want to be alone again. And when I opened my eyes, I saw a timid sparkle between my fingers. Light. I remembered the soft smile of my star as it spoke to me. You are not alone. Now go, and use that power you always had. Just as the moon would scare Mother Night to her slumber, and the stars would shine to protect the living, only light would cast this darkness away. Star of power, give me your light. My tiara in my hand started to shine timidly, their glow slowly enveloping Ezekiel's body. For a while it was just me, the night, and the little hope in the form of light, until Ezekiel finally opened his eyes. Princess. I had no idea how much I had missed his voice until I heard him speak. Tears flowed from my eyes again. He's just like, this is another day for me. And I hugged him without thinking. Easy, you're alive. Huh? Of course I am. You dumbass. Hey. Princess. King Saruva was having a hard time trying to stand, but in his eyes there was a sharp, annoyed look that stood strong. You think this is the end? Ha ha ha, no. I'm not done yet. Okay. He reached for us until the king, bats him over the head with a chair again. Behold the power of my... Before he could finish his line, my father had knocked him out with the chair. Yeah, yeah. Father, are you okay? Honestly, I don't know what's going on, but I think I'm okay. He's still drunk, okay? He's still sobering up. Ezekiel and I exchanged glances, wondering if it was a good idea to talk about the Queen's affair. No. Agreed. What are you talking about? Don't worry about it, brother. He's trying his best. He only has one thought to work with at any given time, so that was a long night. Soon enough, the guards started to wake up, just as the nobles did. Everyone was confused, but as the king returned safe and sound, all the nerves started to calm down. A bit. The guards arrested King Saruva, and while they tried their best to find the jester, they were nowhere to be found. While King Saruva had a very clear reason for his actions, I still couldn't put my finger on why the jester had agreed to help him. Anger, fear, money, maybe the jester's motivations would remain a secret forever. Until next week, we decided to leave the rest of the investigation to the guards, and we resumed my birthday celebrations that night. After all, I was so mentally tired that I couldn't think of anything other than laying on my bed and sleeping. What up, Easy? As I headed to my room, Ezekiel followed me as usual. All that relief from before was gone, but it had left another feeling, a mellow sensation. You had to save me once again. You're welcome. We looked away, remembering everything I felt when I thought I was going to lose him. I felt embarrassed. I didn't want to admit it, but I really appreciated his company. I loved the way he made me smile so easily, even in my darkest moments. Even if he was supposed to be my bodyguard, I didn't think of him only as a servant. That day, when we danced, I felt different. We both felt like different people, almost as if... Princess? Ah, I had forgotten he was right beside me. Heavens, this is so embarrassing. Yes? Never mind. Sure? It wasn't long until we reached my room. Ezekiel prepared himself to keep guard by the door, but I furrowed my brows immediately at the sight. What are you doing? Uh, guarding? You should be going to sleep. But it's my job. You can't take a single day off? Well, I can, but... Ezekiel, I was thinking. I need to tell you something. He gulped. What is it? I took a deep breath, sighing. You need to live your life. But I am. No, you're not. He was a bit shocked by my sudden burst, but I continued. Your family, they worry about you, don't they? Don't you see them very often because you're always training or traveling or doing something at the castle? Don't you miss them? Well, I do, but... And what about you? You really don't mind if you spend all your life childless because you have to worry about my well-being? Princess, you said you can't marry and have children because my life is more important, but it's not. Your life is just as important as mine. And I wouldn't forgive myself if you threw your entire life away just to protect me. I'm serious. You have to live your life, Ezekiel, because the words got stuck in my throat. I couldn't say it directly, but at least you're important to someone. To your family, they need you. Princess, he sighed as if defeated by something. The truth is, people have tried to propose to me before, multiple times, and the reason I didn't accept wasn't just the fact that I was younger, but because I can't see myself doing anything else other than protecting you. Why? Dilari. He looked down. I'm in love with you. You're right when you say I should get a life and see my family more often. I really should. It's just, I'm afraid that if I go away for too long, you'll forget about me. You are smart and cute, and you worry about others. It's just a matter of time until one of those princes finally sees that and takes you away. True! True. I mean, with a girl like Dilari, you can't just let her go. And I want to enjoy all the time I have with you until that day comes. Oh, easy. I took his hand and he looked at me, surprised. I'm not going anywhere. Princess, you shouldn't waste your time with me. I'm just a dumb soldier. You're not! I would embarrass you in front of everyone. The knight shouldn't be with the princess. Life's not like those books you read to me. Books are just a reality written by dreamers. True! We dreamers out here, baby! Easy. You may be a little distracted, clumsy, too gullible for your own good, but that's what I like about you. You're always true to your heart, always willing to help. And you look so cute when you're embarrassed. Oh! And when you're so stupid. You're so cute when you're being so dumb. Well, does that mean you, um, our faces started to inch closer before I realized my eyes were fixated on his, a timid sparkle of joy dancing in his gaze. Oh, these two. Put them in a box. I don't know. That was my immediate reaction. I could feel his warm breath on my cheeks, our noses touching in a delicate way. My stomach was fluttering with hundreds of butterflies, but it wasn't uncomfortable. Rather, it was exciting. A box? I don't know. I want to put them in a box and keep them forever. Like a shadow box, like on your wall, you know? Ezekiel held my face gently, incapable of containing his smile. There was such joy in every movement of his, a soothing relief, a happy embarrassment. Guards, put these two in a box! Look, man. Okay, that sweet feeling took over my senses as I forgot more and more of the world around me and put this box inside another box and another. It just became Emperor's New Groove, apparently. In the end, I only knew one thing. Our lonely souls that wandered for so long craving company, for a place to belong, finally found their place under the stars. Ah! I love when people incorporate the title into their fucking stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. Another Disney reference. I know. There's so many. There's so many. Well, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We managed to finish both under the stream time. We love to see it. And my voice is kind of killing me for some reason, which is weird because you think with as much as I talk, it wouldn't be an issue, but you'd be wrong. The little jester and the star. Cute. Well, let me just say, this story is paced so well. There's so many really good lines. Such a simple, but like, I'm not done talking, Jester. I'm not done, okay? I'm pretty sure you said the same thing anyway, right? Yeah, we didn't need to listen to you. My time to talk, my stream. Get your own stream, Jester. But we'll be back for the Jester next week. But I think after that, that's pretty much the entire game, right? I chewed through it so fast. You know how like you enjoy something and it's just like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then you're like, and then it's all gone. Oh no. Like this pizza very soon. But I'm so glad that I was able to play it. Like, I knew for a while that I was going to enjoy it because it just has the vibes, you know what I mean? But I think I enjoyed it even more than I was expecting to. So, thank you for that. Thank you for just the experience and the cuteness and the good feels and the fun. It's so much fun. It's so funny and just like effortlessly put together. It was really good. I had a good time. Put a big old smile on my face. A great way to start the week off. You know what I mean? And Dulari's precious, of course. Please, guys. It's all good. It's all good. I had a great time with it. And like, I'm excited to get back to and figure out what Jester's whole thing is. I have a feeling it's tied to just like hating nobles, witch based, eat the rich. You know, I'm on that side. So if the Jester is like probably close to there, they are definitely someone I can identify with and empathize with. But I guess we won't really know until then. But that's probably it for today's stream. However, before we go, I do have a Discord now for anybody who isn't chatting or just lurking or anything like that. If you're interested in being part of the Discord, you can find it on my Blue Sky. I just posted about it. I'll probably be advertising a little bit more on stream. And you can join and just verify your Twitch account and you bring it in and we'll have some good times. You know what I mean? I'll probably be hanging out there every day after stream while I'm working and doing other things. Also, we have an entire full week of streams for this week at least. I don't know about future weeks, but just for this week, we've got a lot going on. So I do not have my stream schedule up. How long will that take me to put my stream schedule up? It might only take a second. Give me a second. This is not the one. This is an old one. So give me 1 second. I could probably replace it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Why am I saying it so many times? I just know that I have it in here. It should be in pictures, maybe personal. I think it is. Here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So this is our stream schedule for this week. Today was Under the Stars, and we'll be back again on Monday for the rest. After that, I might just play your smaller games, Len, because I'm pretty sure we'll be done pretty soon. So if you're okay with that, just let me know. If not, let me know. Tomorrow, we are playing a lot of small indie games. I've listed them on my Blue Sky account, and depending on if we have any extra time, I'll probably squeeze in a couple more, but I think with like the 6 that I have listed or something, it might take up the entire stream time. So we'll see. We'll just play it by ear. It's going to be really fun tomorrow. I'm making like a little spin the wheel thing. So if your game is listed, that will determine what order we go in. So it might just be like Like we might spin on Carrot first, we might spin on Hero first, or Chime, just like whomever I had already listed, we'll get to see. So that's gonna be really fun, and I'm excited to play all those little games and get them out of the way. Like, I hate saying getting out of the way. That's such a negative term. That's not how I mean it. It's just I'm glad to get them off my backlog and to actually experience them after so long. There you go. That's a better way of putting it. I somehow got up to 720 shinies. Ooh, woo, yay! Let's collect all the shinies, hoard them. Then on Wednesday, we'll be playing Binary Star Hero by Concrete Parasite. Very excited about that. It's going to be like a darker game, so yanderes and superheroes, which, it's funny because that's what my yandere game is actually about, but apparently they're different enough, so just keep that in mind. Then on Thursday, we'll actually be continuing my Hakuoki series. If you've been keeping up with that, feel free to drop by. All my VODs and stuff are always on YouTube, so if you're actually interested in catching up before the next stream, you can do it there. If not, don't worry about it. The story's kind of convoluted and insane, so you probably don't miss that much. But I really enjoy it, I say after kind of shitting on it. Friday, we'll be playing Love Me and Love Me Not by Lady Meowsith. Sorry, Amy. Love them. They made Alfric the Wondrous was the only game of theirs that I've played so far, but they have a couple of games and I've been meaning to play them. And Love Me Not, I think, is one of their latest releases, so I'm pretty excited about it. Saturday, we'll finally be playing Traveler's Road by Keiku, which is a game that was voted on, I think, it was one of the games I wanted to vote on when I first started streaming, but it lost out to our Wonderland and Quaint. So it unfortunately has been put in the third slot, but we are finally getting to it because we are done with our Wonderland and we are done with Quaint. Surprisingly, despite all my streaming hiatuses and so on. And then Sunday, I will finally be resting. Now, that's for this week. Hope you guys are excited. If any of that sounds like your cup of tea, feel free to drop by. I always enjoy, but if not, don't feel like you have to. I understand life gets in the way. My VODs are always up. It's not really an issue. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it from me. In terms of advertising my stuff, which is something I kind of need to do more, I make games. If you're not aware, I make games. Go play my games. I actually have 3 coming out this month alone. I already have one out. It's called Golden Bonds. It's a polyamorous romance story, pretty cute, only 2 hours long. Good time, great time. And then I have a yandere game coming out, as well as a game about a depressed noble, depressed prince. Gray and I, we have our own studio, so Skyrite Studios, support the games. God, I'm so bad at this. Oh my god. Okay. Some motherfucker with TV. I just read back some of the things. I've been watching Kyoto Wins. Could not tell you a single thing about that game. It's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. Low, both of those being such long games. Yeah, they're. I don't think Traveler's Road is as long. I know it's a little bit longer, but it's longer than an 02A2 game for sure. But it might take a couple weeks to get through it. That kind of thing. They really are LMAO because sometimes we make bad decisions and bad timing. Maybe we do. Who's to say, though? Traveler's Road is not that long. Okay. So maybe we'll get it done in one stream. We'll see. I'm really excited. I've had my eye on that fucking game for I can't tell you, actually years now. Before I became a dev even, which is insane to think about. So yeah, long time coming. Finally getting to it. You'll get it done in one session? Probably. We'll see. I always underestimate how quickly I read through things. So I thought this was going to take a couple weeks to get through, but I was wrong. It's so fucking good. But thank you, Len, for dropping by. Thank you for Under the Stars. Really excited to finish the rest of it next week and potentially play some other games of yours, like the smaller ones that I haven't gotten to. So if that all sounds good and dandy, we'll be back again on Monday at least for that. In terms of what the rest of the week for next week will look like, I don't know. Just let's play it by ear because I also have a bunch of stuff I gotta do separate from that. So anyway, thank you guys for dropping by stream. Join the Discord if you haven't already, and see you tomorrow for a really fun time. Bye bye!